Yeah.
My money don't jiggle, jiggle, it falls. I like to see you wiggle, wiggle, for sure. It makes me want to dribble, dribble. You know, riding in my fear. You really have to see it.
Hey.
What the hell is that song? What
Don't
is
you
What
that?
worry.
that sound is.
Everyone will know it except for you.
Maybe in me, right? It
It's the
maybe
song of the summer.
Oh, is it the song of the
is
summer?
it?
Mhm. Yes. Get on
Okay,
TikTok,
well,
bitches.
we're
Isn't that Lizzo and Beyonce?
No.
Okay. Well, good day, good night, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, and welcome to another exciting episode of Real Tennis Fans. I have to say that I think we have well past 200 episodes, but
well,
Of
your
I
ass
think
gonna be
when we
keeping
course.
have
count.
been keeping an accurate count, I think we're somewhere at the 200 mark, and I don't know.
I don't care about anything you've just said. I'm just checking scores, and I just want to say that I plan to be at Wimbledon on Tuesday, and I absolutely am not looking to see
You mean
Sinner.
Monday?
No, Monday and Tuesday, but this lineup, whoever plays today is on
Okay.
Tuesday.
So you're looking for Alcaraz get his shit together.
I need Alcaraz to get his life. What is Alcaraz doing, y'all? Explain
He's
to
Rafa
me.
Jr. and he's on grass.
No, he's not Rafa Jr. Rafa is comfortably through to week 2.
I'm just
Exactly.
saying. Just saying. How are
But
you
this,
enjoying this Wimbledon? Oh, wait. Introductions? Yeah, we know
Yes.
how to do
yeah,
this.
of course
Swear.
that. I mean, like, I don't want,
Swear.
like we have.
All right, go on. I was ready to jump in.
I
Let's
know.
go.
You can, Andre. You could tell when Janina watched tennis, right? You can always
Yes.
tell.
Woo.
I
love it,
haven't even
Janina.
watched that much, to
I
be
love
honest,
it,
but let's
Janina.
go.
But
Watch
anyway,
Let's go.
let me introduce my co-hostesses with the mostest. I am nothing without these ladies. First, we have
Mm-mm. Oh no.
Jesus
Andrine from
Christ.
Solely Tennis Travel, and excitingly, she is in London. I think, if I'm not.
Yes, I am. I'm in London. I guess
Is
not
this London
London
proper or like one of
London
those suburbs
town?
like Wiltshire or one of those?
Oh
I know.
my God.
Where am I? I think I'm in Streatham Hill. Streatham
Okay.
Hill, which is
What the fuck's a Streatham?
I think it's a
Hill.
slight suburb. So on the
Streatham Hill.
outskirts.
It's
on
a
the
place,
out-
not a thing.
Yes. It's on the outskirts, but not too far on the outskirts. It's like maybe 20 minutes
Okay.
outside.
Can you walk to Wimbledon?
No. That's not happening anytime soon.
I mean, isn't there like a strike and whatnot? How are you even getting to Wimbledon? Are you getting like a
You know
coach or
what?
like?
I said that to somebody isn't there a strike? And someone's like, that was last week. And I was like, well, I could have sworn I saw a strike. So it's been fine. I'll be honest, y'all. I took a red eye and my body is still recovering. And so it's just real information about the lifestyle I used to lead versus the lifestyle I'm probably going to lead, which is red eye flights. Whew, they're gonna take
No
it out
more.
of me. And I hate to say that. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to say that out loud. But I've been really, really working my way up. But I want to be
21
properly
to know if you're
rested.
stalking Federer. or he's implying why haven't you been stalking Federer? You can't be
know.
somewhere laid up when Federer is running around on the grounds
Listen.
and not playing a match.
She can't
I
see.
know.
She will find Federer, trust me.
You are
Trust me.
so-
Deb,
so-
she is
Are we gonna
not.
finish our introductions?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Tony,
Jesus.
I appreciate you understanding
Janina is too old to be a potty pooper, okay? So,
Sorry.
So yes,
okay.
Andrine, red eye, not having self, is ready to go.
To bed.
Okay.
Mhm.
And we have from Foreign Ohio, which is a real place. Trust me in that. It is a real place.
You've never been
It's
here. How do you know it's real?
That's true.
Foreign Ohio. I mean, like, we don't even think Ohio is a real place. Kind of shit y'all are always coming up with.
Oh
It
my
shouldn't be a
God.
real place, unfortunately.
The
I
open
know.
carry state.
Yeah. it
Girl,
is.
everything is happening there. Everything.
Open carry state, 6-week heartbeat abortion law in effect.
We will tell your 10-year-old to have that baby.
We
but
will
guess
tell your
what? We
10-year-old
don't
to
want
have
to see
that
a rainbow
baby.
flag in her classroom, though, and she must not be wearing a mask.
So fucked up here. So fucked up.
Okay,
I mean,
y'all,
I'm
can I
telling
just before let's hurry up and introduce Janina because I gotta
Janina
tell
from
you
Fun-
all
and of course the
people.
homosexual of the podcast reels. Okay. Say what you were
Let's
saying, Angie.
let me just tell you all. I think they have solved the COVID crisis in London because nobody's wearing a mask anywhere.
Oh,
So
so
you
you're
know,
going to a super spreader event.
wait,
Fucking fantastic.
no. So you know how everyone's like, the shift is now that people are saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm the idiot wearing the mask." Literally, hands right up. I'm the idiot wearing the mask everywhere. The subway, I was like, nobody's wearing masks.
Oh, that scares me. Hey, but you know what? You'd feel right at home in Ohio then, because that's what it looks like
Mm.
here.
It's actually really discombobulating, I will say, because I do come from LA. I am living in LA, and LA is still trying to do some masks in the theater, at least. Definitely no one's doing it in grocery stores anymore. And I'm still the lame person walking around proudly with my mask, like, I follow the science, you idiots.
Well,
But it
go
is
ahead,
so
Tom.
strange to be in an entire country where people, because the last country I've been was in Mexico, and Mexico's serious about their masks and hand washing and all of it.
Man, they
The
ain't no joke.
UK, no, I mean, well, London,
Well,
no.
it's funny because last week Friday I went to the theater, and as I was going in, like sauntering, because it was like, this is New York City. The
Mhm.
mayor is like, we gotta get our swag on. We don't give a fuck about COVID. I was like, promptly stopped. May I see a vaccination card? I was just like, that relic? Isn't that a relic now? And I was just like, okay. Because I mean, I've been everywhere, and I mean, no one has ever asked for my vaccination card at this point for like months now. So I found it. I took a picture. I'd taken a picture, and I got in, and like, and meanwhile, you're in there, and you can hear the ushers be like, can you make another announcement to tell people to put their mask on? Like, the fuck? Like, I don't understand it. Like, you're very serious about, I couldn't enter the building without a vaccination card, right? But yeah, you're in there paying flopsy loppsy, loosey goosey with the mask policy. And
Yeah,
we're in a
well,
theater where we can't get out. It's just like, okay.
Okay.
that's my life every day in Ohio.
But let me, we see we have some
Mhm.
fans already
Love
new
it.
and watching and listening, and the secret fans, we love you.
Yeah, secret fans.
We love you. And we have Tony, of course. We have Patrick. We have Mihao. We have
Love it.
Candy Ali.
Candy Alley, which has
Candy. Her name is
Mia.
Candy.
I
Stop
like
it.
that name though. It's Candy Alley, but I
Candy
like
Alley.
it. I like it.
Oh,
I
Candy
do like
Alley,
it.
you do you by being the only person walking around with a mask in Tennessee.
In Tennessee,
I'm
girl,
all
how are
there
you
for
making
you.
it? How are you making it in Tennessee?
when did you get to Tennessee? Did you move again? This is the most
Oh,
moving woman I
wait,
know.
wait. Is this Candy?
Yes.
Candy on
Yes, Candy
Twitter
on
Yes.
who watch
Twitter.
all the ratchet
Candy
television?
Eubanks' family.
Yes,
Candy.
yes.
Oh. Candy is a mess. Listen to
Yes.
me. Candy is a hot mess, but the kind of hot mess that
Oh,
you just
hell.
love.
She
That
moved
Candy
4
is the
years
kind
ago.
of
Where have
person
I
that
been?
would
Candy,
This
who
is the
makes
homegirl you
wonderful
want to get drunk
candles.
with. This is the homegirl you want to get drunk with. This is
All
the
right.
Candy.
Yes,
Okay.
that
And-
Candy.
So
Fun
has
times,
has Skinner? I know we are rude as hell, but guess what? Middle Sunday used to
His
be our
name
day
is
of
Sinner,
rest.
Andre. Skinner is somebody else completely.
Oh yeah, Skinner. Sorry, BF Skinner. Sorry, BF Skinner. I was reading about you recently. No, this used to be Middle Sunday, so I know we are trifling for having a podcast in the middle. But Middle Sunday was podcast day. Sorry,
Yeah.
Wimbledon. I know this is
Yeah.
now like your tradition, but this is our tradition.
And I
Follow
know I
us.
promised y'all a draw show, but I was near death.
Oh yeah, explain
So
to
we
the
didn't get
people.
to do that.
And we see Pablo here.
So you
Pablo
didn't.
says Pablo Skinner is spanking Carlos, but knowing how Carlos is and knowing
He's a
Sinner,
slow starter, right?
In a bad
exactly.
way.
I mean,
In a
like, you can never
bad
count him
way.
out.
Bad.
But
Oh,
I
he's
have to give it
fighting.
up for Francis Tiafoe for being in the fifth set and not punking out, because usually he just
Well, he
goes-
fought so hard to come back in the fourth, and then he punked out. But whatever. We're on serve in the fifth, and
Yes.
Sinner is about to serve to go up 2-0 over
You know what?
special Spaniard Alcaraz.
that
No,
might
let
be
me-
just
I
that
can't
might be the
see
place
y'all.
Alcaraz wants him.
I can't see, but is Sinner? that I'm not watching it yet. Is Federer watching Sinner? Is Sinner just there to try to show Federer what it's like to come from 2 sets down?
Cut it out. I don't
You
know
mean
where
Alcaraz?
Federer is.
Yes.
I mean, if it's a choice for Lever Cup and people who are going for Lever Cup, I will pick Alcaraz, even if he's like on wheelchair, because he's just gonna bring, you know what I mean? He's gonna bring some excitement. I've
No,
seen Sinner
but
at DC, and I mean, like,
You didn't like
I
he?
I
he's
mean, it
okay.
was like a
He's
wet
better.
towel. Like there was
Oh,
nothing happening there. It
jeez.
just was not.
Unfucking believable. I like
I
I
him.
mean,
will. I
you
will
have to
say
be able to project onto people, and it's not him.
I'm on the center train.
Oh, of course, Moa is doing sponsorship. That boy, collect that paper, baby. No, I thought that first of all, let's just celebrate the fact that Federer showed up on Middle Sunday looking like a snack.
He looked
Okay.
amazing. I hated
Oh,
his tie though. Can I just say that? I zoomed in on the tie and it was like some funky knit thing.
If
Federer
you're
do
new
better.
here, these women go crazy for Federer. Federer could have showed up in there in a
No.
garbage bag,
Nope.
tied
no,
with some duct
Janine
tape.
is not that discriminating.
No.
So it's me. Me and me. I go
Janina would have
crazy.
seen that paycheck. I should have been like, "You're looking great, baby. You're looking great. Awesome." As always.
Federer looked expensive. That's all
Yes,
I
as
wanna
always.
Roger
As
Federer
always.
always fucking looks expensive, which is why that
does.
tie did not work. It looked fucking cheap.
I know, but I felt sad because Federer was in a suit, which of course that's what he looks good in. But then Rafa was in the gear because Rafa is in week 2. You all, I'm smacking all of those boys. How are you gonna let Rafa get to week 2? But this has been a really nice draw for Rafa. Really, really nice
Candy
draw.
said she wanted Serena.
Have you
to be
watched
there.
Rafa? Because I ain't watched his ass.
No,
It
I
seems
haven't seen him
I
yet.
feel like this is what happens when Rafa's playing. I get a message about 2 to 3 hours in from Tony that he's pissed off about something. That's all I know about Rafa's play right now.
So let's get into it. Let's talk about the most important topic that's happened at Wimbledon. Serena
Coco
and that,
lost.
No,
And I
the
mean, like, the
Serena and
tournament
the
should be
3-hour
done.
match.
Okay, so let's talk
Serena
about
and
it.
the
Did we
3-hour
all
match.
watch it?
I did actually. I didn't watch the whole 3 hours. I watched the middle of the second set all the way to the end.
I think I watched most of it. It started when I was at work and I came home and I saw a good majority of it.
Mhm.
I was happy with it. Period. I mean, she hasn't played in a year. You're 40 years old. You cannot play your way into a major. You had did she even have 2 matches before or just the one? In doubles,
I think.
at
2 doubles.
Eastbourne, 2 in doubles, so you didn't play any singles. And you know what? She was rusty as fuck. She looked brilliant in moments, and if she continues to play, she'll, she looked good. She's fit as fuck.
Really? You
Yes.
think she's fit? I mean, her legs look toned, but you think she's fit?
Her abs, her shirt came up. You can wash all the laundry there. All of it. True story. I was thinking she looked a little heavy. No. That was her fucking muscles. Serena is fit.
Yeah, Candy, I'm with you. Her body said, "No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, spam."
And that's fine. But to be 40 years old and to go out there and compete like she did and having not played, she did not look bad.
But this is uncharted territory, right? I mean, this is I think Federer and Serena are in some sort of uncharted territory when it comes to tennis players, right? Like they are in their late bloom, and expecting of themselves, like it's just not like, Martina Navratilova, we're just like, we're just happy to be here. If we could get in, we can get in, right? These people have the pressure and the understanding and the physicality of, doing well. But, Andrine and I had a conversation. She called me, I just thought, me personally in the beginning, I would say, Serena, this is rather disrespectful of the game. Girl, these girls out here, everybody could win a major, right? This seeing Krejcikova winning a major. This seeing Swiatek being number 1.
Who fucking cares about all of them?
No, but I'm simply saying that I'm just saying to see Raducanu. I'm just simply saying the girls on told be like, this is a free for all, right? Anyone can get in and get it, right? Anyone. I mean, you didn't even have to win a major match before. You didn't even have to win a tournament to win a major, right? Raducanu and Leila Fernandez. Well, she had won Mexico, so to be fair, But I'm just simply saying that Serena to me did not look like she was ready. I don't know what
TFO is up break point 1540. If he breaks, he'll serve for the match.
Okay.
Go on.
I don't know what were her goals to coming back for this match, for this tournament.
Yeah.
I thought perhaps it was a bit arrogant, but like
What?
I'm not a
Stop it
champion.
right now. No, I'm going to
No,
shut
no,
this shit right
hold on.
down.
No, no,
She
no, no,
doesn't
no, no,
have to
no.
have goals other than wanting to play tennis. That's it.
Hey,
That's it.
so that's my point.
We're not 12 years old, Janina. Nobody's
Wait,
showing
wait.
up wanting to just play tennis. Are you
Exactly.
sure?
Why not?
And if she
Well,
was,
of course she wants to
if
show up
she
to play to
wants to
win.
show up to play tennis,
But she could do that in
you
any
would
fashion
have
she
been at
wants.
some Punkadunk tournament.
I
You
don't
would
think
have
you get
shown
to
up
do
at some
that.
challenger, some backyard classic. Do something.
Just because
right?
that's what you would have done doesn't mean that's what she has to do. And clearly, whatever
I
she's
don't mean like
trying, it
she
didn't
doesn't.
work
I mean,
because she
clearly has
fizzled
to
out
do-
in round one. But she gets to do it whatever way she wants.
Okay, but let's ask ourselves the question. Let's be real. Let's be serious about this for a
Okay.
minute. Which is not to say that we were unserious. We were unserious before. But let me ask you, why do you think Serena showed up? What do you think it was for her? Because I think people have been interpreting it all kinds of ways. Reels clearly has one. Tell me, and also the people in the comments, why do you think she showed up? Because she doesn't have to, right? Like she's done everything she needs to do. There's really no. I thought initially in a very naive way that she showed up to have a better memory from Wimbledon than the last time. But what do you all think? Like, how realistic do you think she thought her chances were to go far? Like, what's your sense?
Okay, so I think that Serena probably every time she steps on court knows that she's got a legit chance to win, regardless of
Okay.
who she's playing, because of her ability at any given moment. I don't think that she's stupid about the fact that she's rusty and she hasn't played in forever. I think she's probably very aware of that.
Okay.
However, I don't know that it matters. I don't care. I don't care if she wanted to just come and say, hey, it's Wimbledon. I'm a tennis player and I want to fucking play Wimbledon.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. If she came in with this arrogance of, I haven't played in a year, I have no match play, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to win. Well, you know what? Good for you for believing in yourself that you could do that. It didn't work, but if that's your mindset, who am I to say she's wrong? She gets to play for whatever reason she wants. We don't need to know. There doesn't even need to be a motive. I don't even understand why we're having this conversation. It just seems silly to me. You're right, because she has done everything. She has absolutely nothing to prove. If she just wants to play, she gets to play. If she wants to play because she thinks that the field is weak and she can trample all over them and come in and win, then so be it. Let her believe that and do that. But who are we to say why is she doing that? Who fucking cares? If you're a fan of Serena Williams, you're happy that she's playing. Period. Everything we've been saying for years. Federer, Serena, Venus, Rafa, everything at this point in their careers is a bonus. Just sit back and enjoy it. Why do we have to analyze every single thing they're doing?
Analyze because we're on a freaking podcast.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like,
analyze every single thing. This is what we do.
But
I mean,
why
Janine,
can't we just enjoy it? Why does it?
Because
why
we
does there
are
have
on
to
a podcast. We don't have
we
to
are on.
enjoy it in
Hold
that
on,
way.
Janina.
No.
I
But we're
think
also
you're being,
supposed
you
to
know
be
what?
a fans podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is what fans do. But Janine, I think you're being just a tad bit disingenuous, right? Because we would have had this argument, we would have had this same discussion had it been Maria, right? We would have been like, girl, what are you doing out here? Right? And we can project. I mean, like, you're right. Serena can do whatever she wants to do. There is no doubt. And all of these players can do whatever they want to do. They don't ask reels, which is a mistake in their life. But, like, we move on. Right? But I'm just simply saying, like, you're right. She doesn't have to prove anything. But for me, I'm like, okay, if we are to take what you're saying, if you're gonna say that she thinks that she has a legit chance to win, right? I don't know if I saw that necessarily. I saw that effort, and I don't know if I can believe that when I didn't see you put in the work, right? But granted that I don't have to see all of the work, right? That all of the work was not of it. You think she looked fit? I didn't think she necessarily looked fit, right? And and the other thing is that Serena has to understand. Well, she doesn't have to understand, but like, this is what I'm talking about, the arrogance in that, as the age go on, your mind is telling you you're still 22, but your body is like, girl, no. And you have to find different ways around. Yes, it's true. I mean, I don't know if what Rafa is out here doing is simply gravy, because Rafa is looking to get a calendar Grand Slam
legitimate contender
this year.
Mhm.
Rafa is
None
a
of
legitimate
it's gravy
contender.
for any of them.
No,
None of
this ain't
them.
great. Rafa ain't looking at gravy. This is the whole
Yeah,
turkey.
he's
This
on
is the
it. He's
turkey
in
right
it.
For
here.
sure. I don't understand
But
why the love of tennis and the joy of the game is not enough to say I want to keep playing. I don't get that.
Honey, because Serena at best has been part-time playing tennis, which has been fine for her, and she
It's
doesn't
been her
actually
entire
need to.
career.
I know,
That's
but
been
she
her
doesn't
entire
need.
career. So
yes,
why change
Exactly.
now?
but you know
Exactly.
what?
So she doesn't need to. So that's the question
But
for me. Was like, listen. Serena looks happy in her life.
Oh my God,
Happy.
TFL's about to fuck all
I
this
know.
shit up.
Happy, fulfilled, and doing whatever. So I was like, you know what? I know Wimbledon is special. That's all I thought she was there. Like, Wimbledon is special. She's looking at it. Even Venus, right? Venus was like, I don't plan to play, but she showed up and someone's like, hey, this is great. And she's like, I really want to play. Let me try some mixed doubles.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Same thing Serena could have done, right? Serena could have been like, you know what? I really am feeling it. But
Reels, cut it
maybe
out.
I'll do some mixed doubles. But can I just say though?
Oh my God, someone said I needed you Beverly for that Serena match. Cut it out.
I know, but
And I'll have you know that shit
Kieran,
don't work that
come
well.
on.
but I will.
And
but I
Kieran,
will-
just so you know,
but I
Kieran,
will-
it's available in a 16.
Oh my
16
God,
pill
fucking
pack.
TFO just
Okay,
lost.
but did
It's
he
a 16
lose?
pill pack
He
now,
lose after, he
Kieran.
lost after being at break
He
point?
fucking got broken. And Goffin broke for the win. Unfucking believable. Congratulations, Maya. Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
so can I just say though? But I will say, I watched that match was riveting. The Serena match was riveting. Partially because like I was just curious about what was going on with her, but as the match went on, I was like, at first I was like, "Tan, that's a great person for her to start with." And then I saw what Tan was bringing to the table, and I was like, "Oh no, she's not." She had Serena
Listen,
moving up
she did.
instead of side. Serena
But can we
was
look at it for what it was?
confuddled.
She was, but there were also moments. There were
greatness,
moments.
sure,
And
of
all she
like-
was going to have were moments because
Yes.
she hasn't played.
The
And there were
consistency.
moments where her footwork was on point, where her
Yes.
movement was on point. She is 40.
Listen, I get it. She's 40, but can we talk about the way her play was? Listen, she was out there
It
for
was
3 hours.
sketchy.
It was sketchy, but she was out there for 3 hours.
Yep.
And
she lost.
that
We're
girl
not used to
made
that.
her work. No,
She had
but
to
you know
work,
what?
work.
Work. And I was kept thinking to myself, because I was having a breakdown of the match today with a friend, and we were talking about it, and we're like, and I was like, but she served for the match.
She
Like,
did
you know,
serve for it.
She
And this
served
is
for
the same
match.
issue that we've had for the last 3-4 years of Serena not being able to close shit out.
But
So
hey, you know
again,
what?
that
You know
wasn't
what?
new.
No, I
Andrina
know.
and I had a conversation and we came up with an assessment, and it
Oh,
is
Jesus.
absolutely true. I know you're going to get into your feelings, Janina, and get
I'm
into your
not in my
feelings,
feelings.
fans.
I'm
Here's
just
the thing.
interested because you're like,
Serena has
you've
not
already
been
told us it's true.
competitive in a Grand Slam in the money
Final.
area bank since 2016.
It's quiet as it's kept.
Quiet as it's kept. In fact, I don't want to give this person, any lightning, but 2015 US Open broke her.
Stop it. Don't.
I'm gonna put that out there. That is a
To say that
hypothesis. We
something
can
broke
put
her is not the same as to say she isn't competitive. If you're making finals, you're competitive.
Have you seen those fire sales? Have you seen those fire sales?
I hear you, but
I mean, the
I
last
think you're
time-
overreaching a bit.
I mean,
you cannot
listen
say a
to me.
player
I am
that
right
has been
here.
consistently
I
in
am right here,
finals
Andre,
is not
Janina.
competitive.
She's right. I'm right here. She hasn't won a set. Boom. In any of them. That's one. She lost 4-5 of them. Well, Andre, I think Andre got us. She took a set from Andre in the Australian Open 2016. But Serena has Australian Open is Serena's playground. Okay, ain't a way she can't win a match in there when she really needs to. Right? The finals, Angie couldn't ask for anything else. You know, the last time she won a Grand Slam, she beat her sister, who was just happy to be there.
You're an asshole.
And yeah,
Let's
and you
move
know,
on.
I love Venus. But you know how
stand
Venus
you.
is. But you know what? I think we need to, as we're talking
talked
about my
about
girl
that.
Venus,
We talked
as we're
about
talking about my
that.
girl Venus, there is a correlation between Venus and Serena. And I think we need to lay off this sort of like pressure and expectation, because I read y'all tweets, like Serena's going to win, mommy's going to come in, she just need a couple more matches. Look, Venus has been out here showing you what the plus 35 athlete looks like.
Yeah, actually, that's true. That's true.
That if you
Up and
want to be
down.
in the, it's up
Yeah.
and down, and it's many downs.
Yeah.
Venus said something years ago when she had shown. She said, as an athlete, you're used to telling your body to do something and it does exactly what you want it to do,
Yeah.
especially when you're a pro athlete. I think Serena and Roger and all those like super millionaires have micromanaged training. That's what makes the top players who be winning multiple medals and major. It's the micromanaging of the trainer. A trainer who works with the food, who what the morning workouts, the evening workouts, and whatever. Not the junk science no they have, which some of the nonsense. But I mean, you saw Venus. The best Venus has looked in a long time is 2017, and still, you can't tell me Venus didn't want Wimbledon. The U.S. Australian Open, she give it away. She gives Serena that. You're a pregnant girl. She's
can't.
used to doing that.
Stop
But
it.
Australian
Stop it
Open,
right fucking now.
Wimbledon, she just couldn't. And I think Serena, this is what I'm talking about, the arrogance. And if you respect the game and want, if whatever goals you have, if your goal is winning, and that might not be her goal, right? Her goal might not be winning another major. Because apparently people seem to think there are some in the camp that Serena needs to break Margaret Court illegitimate unreal record. But if her goal is winning, she can't come back out here looking like that. She got to do something different, drastically different. When you're in your twilight years of 30 plus, you got to be in the gym more than you're on the court. It's just the reality of the situation. We've seen it. We've heard professional athletes talk about it. You have to train differently. You have to operate differently. You have to manage your schedule. Managing your schedule don't mean show up once. It means you got to show up at a few places. At a few places. You just have to.
Okay, so let me interrupt this for a moment to talk to Karen, who's asking about Wimbledon. I'm going to tell you more about Wimbledon tomorrow because tomorrow is the day I'm going. But I just want to express my frustration in the fact that Wimbledon has scheduled Nick Kyrgios on center court tomorrow. Why are they moving him to center court when really that match deserves court number 1, which is what I have tickets for? Anyway,
I agree with you.
Anyway, so I have heard it through the grapevine that it is actually not very crowded at Wimbledon, that the queue is easy to get into, and that tickets on the day off are actually available. So I'll be able to, and I can also tell by just looking around the grounds and things that are happening that it's actually not that crowded. So I'll see.
I'm going to call that the Federer effect.
What? Is it the lack of points? Is it the fact that
could be the lack of points? Could be the lack of star power?
It could be that a pandemic is going on and people dealing with a whole bunch of other shit.
No, the pandemic is over. Stop being silly.
People got shit to go on. And also there is also a recession going on in England. So people are broke.
About the world?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, the world. Well, I mean, American news keep acting like it's only in America it's happening.
Well, you know what, though? I will say, to be fair, you do have a sizable chunk of people who are missing from the tournament, i.e. the Russians, who are top 10 players. So the star player is definitely missing. And then you have a bunch of people. Money. And then you have a bunch of people who also have lost out on the tournament because of COVID. Cilic, Berrettini. I don't think that would have controlled ticket sales thus far, though. But and they have, I just feel like Wimbledon, I wanted to aggressively go to Wimbledon since I was here for the week, and they really only limited me to buying tickets for 2 days. They were like, nope, you can't get any more tickets. Here's it, So for people who wanted to go, they probably constrained that. So I also think that's a big issue.
Wait, they said you could only have tickets for 2 days.
You could only buy tickets for 2 separate occasions.
What the fuck?
It's so frustrating. But I was grateful that they let me buy tickets online anyway. That was the first miracle, and it was actually relatively easy. And so I went in, got on the sale, and got it. But they really blocked you from buying multiple tickets beyond the 2 that I had. I'm going on a 3rd day because I'm going to go with a fabulous friend. So give us a really good semifinal men's match, please, Wimbledon.
Center.
Anyway, I'm so annoyed. Wimbledon's scheduling has been off this whole time. Why wouldn't they put a women's match on center? I will actually say I'm flip the script at all, but I'm getting a ton of women's matches. And it's not to say that I don't enjoy the WTA, but there's no one here that I want to see. But I guess I'm going to enjoy Harmony Tan, you all.
Well, she's
who I
doing really
get.
well. She's got her post Serena win fuel.
I mean, this is my lineup for tomorrow. Rybakina versus Martic. Kubler versus Fritz. And Anisimova versus Tan. So I feel like
let's be real, that fucking sucks.
That really does suck for me. It's not a great lineup.
Did not tank her match yesterday. She's fucking tired.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Iga, I'm happy that Iga's out, but let's go back and forth.
I'm kind of sad that it's corny, but it had to be corny.
It had to be
it's
corny.
Always gonna be corny.
Because corny is just like, girl, you are doing too much. We need more of this energy on the WTA tour around the other places. Okay.
So we're gonna close out the Serena section. Reels is controversial as always. Janina is actually quite tender about Serena, but I know you're precious about
She's
Serena.
doing it for her friend Tony.
I am the hard ass bitch that don't really care.
No.
But I actually really enjoyed the match. I thought that it was really fun to have her back. I thought that it was the most excited my timeline has been in a long time. Now, of course, I have a very specialized timeline. So, of course, It
was fun. It was fun.
It was fun. I cared. I was engaged. I was excited. And you know what? I have to say, Tan was actually really compelling to watch as well. Because I thought she was done and dusted every time. And then that girl would whip out something brand new.
But I would say, though, that, in all honesty, this may speak to just Serena's tennis acumen, that she was dragging a young girl who she could probably be her mama for 3 hours. And she was, there, nearly there. The problem is that Serena can't do that for 7 rounds, people. You know what I mean?
You know what? But it was a nice draw. When you look at how it actually fell through, I think Serena would have had a pleasant time.
These girls do not give Serena a pleasant time.
No,
everybody wants their superstar.
Everybody
win.
want their exactly.
Like I never heard of this fucking Tan before last week.
Look,
I never seen her.
When you think of Heather Watson, you think about how Heather Watson almost dragged Serena, right?
Yeah,
Christina McHale, they all show up. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if they can't get a Serena win now, when will they ever? Could they ever had? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And I thought Petra would have, but you know how Petra is, how she is. Petra, I'm disappointed in you.
Well, I was a little bit surprised that Petra
went out in straight sets. I mean, it was competitive and compelling.
She looked
but
pretty in her green dress today.
Badosa. I thought Badosa
God, your
was
husband,
on the way
people.
out.
God, your husband. Petra is on the prowl.
Cam Norrie is cruising.
Yes.
Through this Wimbledon.
I mean,
is what else? Cute?
Well, first of all, Tommy Paul is in the 4th rung of a major.
That's because no one else is there. Can we go back to my question? Is Cam Norrie cute?
No. Can I just say I want
English
you all
cute. He's English cute.
I want you all you Rafa fans to thank me because every single tournament I show up to, Rafa turns out to be in the final. This motherfucker has been following me to Mexico City.
He's following you.
He's following me to Indian Wells, and now he's showing up at Wimbledon, and he's going to get to that final. Because guess what? Andrine's in town, and I clearly am Rafa's lucky anti-hater.
So you need to stay home then. Stay home. Get back on the plane. Get back on a red eye, blue eye, green eye. I don't care what it is. I'm cross the Atlantic again. Please go home. Let me call your sister right now and be like, come get your friend.
I'm really sad about that.
Go home.
Well, but look.
Said Norrie is not even English cute.
Pablo says he's not English.
I would clarify what I mean
Norrie
exactly,
story.
but I mean, Pablo is in here, and I don't want to,
everyone is so spicy. You all are so spicy right now.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold the horses. Hold up. Candy Ali has a Cam Norrie story. Girl, I don't care what the story. You gotta
get her on here. Send the fucking link.
I mean,
does it involve
saving it for your autobiography? Candy, you're messy. Candy, we need that story.
I only care if it involves something happening under the table.
Where is Cam Norrie from, by the way? Is this? He's Scottish. Oh my God,
Well, no,
Pablo. I'm sorry. He's British cute then.
So let's
Y'all
talk
be real
about.
up in your feelings about the situation, and then when Scotland asks for independence, y'all be like, "No, you
Okay,
can't break
reels.
up the
You
kingdom."
reels always go so hard, so fast. Let me ask the question: Are we? Let's shift gears. Are we missing the Russians?
I miss Medvedev.
I
I
do miss
kind of am.
Medvedev.
I kind of do too.
And I do miss, I mean, like, and if there's any kind of salty dust up thing, who doesn't love to see Rublev be a petulant child on court?
I
Who
don't miss
doesn't love to
Rublev.
see that?
I didn't. I was trying to think of who else I'm not missing, and he didn't
I
even
mean,
pop into my head.
and Azarenka is thinking, maybe I had a shot here.
Mhm.
I mean,
No,
Azarenka,
quiet as it's kept. We don't talk about that.
Of who?
Azarenka, head of the WTA, right? The WTA Players Council is not here.
We don't care.
I mean, it's a little bit of a buzzkill.
yeah,
Is
This
it?
it
is,
is.
I mean, Azarenka is a name. I like her. Patrick says, "Fuck the Russians." Patrick.
Patrick's always a little suspect every few podcasts. Don't worry about that.
I kind of miss the Russians, but
There are two Patricks. There's Patrick Hinton and Patrick Glanville. But Patrick
yeah.
Hinton said, would Tan have qualified if no ban had happened? Well, apparently she's playing well because she's in the fourth round. She's playing tomorrow.
Well, the thing
So
that's interesting, I think I agree with Tony. I think the Russians are definitely missing on the women's side. I mean, on the men's side. On the men's side, you can feel their absence a little bit more.
I would have loved a bad boy versus bad boy match, Kyrgios and Medvedev. That would have been my
I don't even know if that would have been
feel
possible.
full.
God, that would have been messy.
That would have been fun. Can we talk about Nick Kyrgios?
Okay, we'll
Well,
get
first
to
of
Nick
all,
Kyrgios,
I
but
think I have to keep stressing this
O's
shit about
point,
Nick Kyrgios.
to O's but to O's point, since we're
Mhm.
here, let's close it out. I do think that Vika is actually the biggest casualty there. She's a legitimate contender, and on the women's side, and her absence is pretty significant at the
And
prime of her career.
Sabalenka got to the semis last year. I mean,
My Saba.
yeah. I mean,
She's
she would have
Russian?
messy her way into second week.
No, Belarusian, no?
Yeah, she's Belarusian.
Yeah,
I don't-
Belarusian.
I don't miss
Yeah.
any of them.
I
Except
do
for
actually,
Medvedev.
because I do, they have, the thing about the thing about a niche sport like tennis is that, we know our players, right? They bring something to the table. Are they people that the people on the street know? No. But do we know that Sabalenka can wail on a ball if need be? Yes, we do. Do we think that Vika has something to offer? Sure, we do. Do people know who Vika is on the streets? No, they don't. Just like those people don't know who Iga is either. But we are fans of a niche sport.
And it's not because of Coco Iga. It's not because
Yeah,
of Coco.
we're missing some people. We're missing that vibe that they bring. Listen, it is also clear on the WTA side, because look at who's left, y'all. Let's just be real clear. I don't care about any of these women that's left, and that is real sad.
My God.
What? Have you looked at who's left?
I have no idea who's left.
Listen,
Point
I
taken.
honestly haven't
That
seen
is-
very many women's matches.
That is the point. That is the
Dude.
point.
let me tell you something. Who's left on the women's side that you care about? Ons. That's probably it.
I don't
Probably
care
gonna
about
be
Ons.
Well, see, and so therefore, Janita don't care about nobody left. But let me tell you, it is
There
real.
is Halep, there's Badosa, there is Barikina, Macic,
Mm-hmm.
Anisimova, Tan, Cornet, Tomljanovic.
You don't have any young American black women?
I mean,
No.
none,
None?
honey.
Damn.
None.
Hey, did y'all notice that Mohammed is playing mixed doubles? I forget with who.
Asia Mohammed?
Yeah.
She's also playing She's also playing regular doubles. But
Yeah.
anyway, so it is. So in this section,
Well,
there
you
are
mightn't
some
have
people who
Elise
are
Merton
mixed.
might take out Ons.
I
There-
like Elise Mertens. Just
Yeah.
fine.
I don't like her. She's
I
Belgian.
like her fine. She's very docile on court.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all I can say about her. But I don't think we have any major signature people. And even though I was begging for someone to take out Swiatek, there's no storyline on the WTA side right now. Aside from, I guess maybe Ons and
You know what the storyline is? The storyline is that Iga lost. When it was coming up on match point and it looked like she was going to lose, there was actually a ticker at the bottom that said last Iga lost 137 days, so many hours, so many minutes, and so many seconds. And I was like, is this really happening? This is what
They're
the fucking
bored.
news is? This is
They're
bad.
listen, we do what we can. We do what we can for the WTA. So let's get into the tea. Who watched the entire Nick Stefanos match? Because I certainly
I
did.
didn't see one fucking point, but goddamn, it's all I hear about.
It was
All
actually
that
really
salt.
enjoyable. It was really enjoyable to watch. What did you think, Reels? You watched it. I know your ass did.
I mean, you know, there is a problem with Stefanos. Something is wrong with him.
Okay, I can't believe you're starting on a match. You're starting
I'm
out your
starting there
analysis.
because I mean,
I love
the
it. You
tennis,
start your analysis with "there's a problem with."
the tennis is irrelevant. I mean, I think the tennis is irrelevant because you were coming up with against a Nick who thinks, like he's looking around, he feels he's in his body for a minute, right?
Mhm.
His body is cooperating at this point. So there was a scare at one point in this thing when
Yes,
I think
in
he
the hip.
almost hit
Yeah.
the hip. And then there's Stefanos who thought for a minute a few years ago that Rafa, Nole, and Federer was gonna lay down the gauntlet for him, lay down open the trophy room, the
No,
throne room, I should say,
that's
and
Sasha.
he was gonna walk in. I think Sasha got the impression that he has to work for it. He's not entirely sure he has
No.
all of his necessary to be there, right? But Sasha, I think Federer told Sasha, "Girl, we're not giving you this shit for free. None of us are gonna give you this for free. Okay? You don't even have a Murray to even play with. Okay? Like you have to deal with us at some point." But I think there's something definitely wrong with Stefanos, and it's been going on for ages and ages, and everyone keeps, he's a white boy. Secondly, I have to say,
Oh
Nick
shit!
Kyrgios is not black. He's not black. Nick
What?
Kyrgios is not black. He's not African American. He's not Aborigine. He's not even half black. He's not even mixed black.
Mm-hmm.
He's not black. And I think if people take that out of their mind, maybe some of the shit that they're projecting onto Nick is really oddly anti-black, and he's not black. Not just so that you need to save that for black people. I'm just simply saying you're just showing yourself to be really racist and problematic. Everyone is going on about how Nick was supposedly bullying Stefanos, and Stefanos hit somebody in the crowd.
Well, almost. I don't think he hit somebody. Almost. But listen,
I mean, but that was but again, the point wasn't even he needed to hit someone. If he directed the ball into the crowd and came close to hitting someone, that is a problem. You need to go. And Nick is correct in saying, had that been me, we would have found some situation to say that.
But listen, let's be honest though. Nick is trifling. Who
doesn't know this?
Shit, she called him trifling.
He's trifling.
Who doesn't know
But listen, even if we know it, let me ask you the question. Do we think that Nick skirts the sportsmanship rule a tad?
Look, maybe if he's playing Cole Schreiber, maybe if he's playing Goffin, but if he's playing Stefanos, who is sending up smoke signals, sending text messages to his daddy, like, I mean, we can't talk about the problem is that Stefanos. The problem with Stefanos is that his tennis isn't working. The boys have figured you out. There's a hole in your game.
Listen, it's a hole in his game, but let's be honest though. He really responded well in that match from a tennis perspective. No?
Who did?
Steph. I thought he was gonna lay down, but he really there are moments when he was down break points, recovered them. He didn't always translate the break points that he had on Nick's serve, but I thought he competed well enough.
I mean, I'm not simply saying he's a horrible tennis player. I'm just simply saying he's a horrible person.
Oh my!
And he doesn't get to take. I will not sit here and have people try to play this boy as being a victim.
I'm not
rude,
really.
He's disrespectful, and I mean, yes, Nick is trifling, but this is what Nick does in every single match. If you're not gonna shut this shit down early with the umpire and whatever the case may be, or as Rafa is out here having a quiet word with his opponent, in front of everyone.
I know. I love that.
It's just like, look, I mean, you are frustrated again. I'm not talking about a handshake and whatever. Tennis, there's some things I don't give a shit about with tennis. One of the things I do, you can't hit a ball out you can hit the ball out of the court, yes. But you can't hit it you're mad and everyone's mad and whatever the case may be, but you can hurt somebody. Those balls can hit really hard and that kind of shit. You can't play with that. And again,
but I mean, you're talking about the result. But you're talking about the result. I'm talking about the actual act, which is Nick riled him up to the point where Stefanos actually released his frustration.
And isn't that part of
That's the
sport?
tactic.
But
That's the tactic. That's what I'm asking you. That's what I was saying. Do
So
you think he skirts sportsmanship? Because that's what Nick
No.
is doing. Nick is creating chaos because it helps him stay motivated. The only person who I saw do that fairly well was Andy Roddick, right? Andy Roddick used to do that. He didn't do it in the to the degree that Nick does it, where he goes and gets really savage in that way. But Andy Roddick does the same thing. He's a blend of Andy Roddick and Andy Murray, right? In the sense that Andy Murray chastises his box, which Andy Roddick didn't do, and then Andy Roddick engages the umpire to juice himself up and to give himself some energy. They both used to do that. But I think the question is, listen, we don't have to say we're anti-black. We can assess Nick for who Nick is. I felt last night that Nick went a touch too far, partially because Nick was trying to incentivize the umpire to default his opponent instead of going just for the win. That seems to me that seems a little bit strange to me. Like, oh, guess what? I'm going to rile you up. Then I'm going to get a reaction from you. And then I'm going to pull the umpire in and say, hey, look at that reaction I got from him. That feels like a chump move.
But wait, but this you're saying after the fact that he had hit the ball into the crowd, almost hit someone, and Nick
that was
complaining.
after. Listen, that's after Nick. That's after Nick succeeded in riling him up, because that's not something that Stefanos does. Let's be real clear about that. Yes, he looked at his daddy. Yes, he does. He looks at his daddy.
No. Stefanos is always, listen to me. In what's that, when they had that little silly tournament they have back in the next gen situation, that
What
boy
about it?
broke up his headphones in the crowd. This is who he is.
Listen, I get it. What I'm
He's
saying is
always- look, when he played,
you can't give Nick permission to be who he is and also not give Stefanos permission.
No, but
to
I'm
be who
simply
he is.
saying that, listen to me. I don't think, I mean, like, this is who Nick does all the time, and people ignore Nick, right?
No, we
The
don't.
point-
We talk about it all the time. It's part
No.
of Nick's
When
persona.
I say people, I mean the opponent ignores Nick.
Well, smart
I barely
opponents
see
figure
Nick.
that out. I mean,
And
listen,
I mean,
smart
Stefanos isn't around the
opponents,
corner.
no,
Stefanos
smart
didn't start
opponents,
last
no.
week.
No, but I think the thing is, I think that this is a strategy Nick uses. And first of all, I think it's shitty. I'm like over Nick's use of this, because Nick is just one of those people that's out there to get one or two big wins and then go home.
Of course,
and
I
be
agree with you
convinced
100%.
and be convinced of his greatness. I'm over that. That's
Exactly.
boring as shit, honey. Take it to the end of the line. That's real courage,
Mm,
okay?
I
That's
agree
real
with you.
courage. You need to get your ass to that final. If this is such a good draw and you be believing in yourself so much, I need to see you get to that final. Don't be satisfied with coming in and destroying someone's day and this fan's next 3 days by ruining it for somebody who actually has the ability to go further than your ass will. Okay? So
But
I'm
you see,
over that part. But I think Nick
I
has
would
really
if Nick
pushed
is playing
himself
somebody
too
else.
far.
It can't be.
I
I
mean, but you
can't bring that
Can't you
argument
separate? You
when
have
it
to
is
separate their
Stefanos.
behavior.
I
Listen, you have
can't
to
bring that
Okay,
because.
that's fine. Separate it out though. Nick went
But
a
in the
bit
French
far
Open, no, I'm just
yesterday.
simply saying, okay, yes, because I think other people would have handled that situation differently, right? Nick, because here's the thing: is that Nick is only doing something when Nick is winning, when he's winning comfortably, he's just on the trot, right? But if Nick is doing all of this antics, he figured that I have a chance to beat you. And
No,
then
he
you
does,
have
not
to
only does
focus.
he have a chance, he knows that he knows he owns Stefano. So that's a given. But the thing
Because he
about
beat
Nick
him
is
because he said that.
he
I
will
think
lay
he said
down,
that
he
in the
will
press
lay his
conference.
ass. Listen, he lays his ass down there when it's somebody that he doesn't think he can stand up with. That's the thing for me is like, listen, I think it's just a tactic that Nick uses. And we need to analyze it like it's a tactic. That's what I want them to do. I don't want them to make any analysis about his race or ethnicity. I don't want them to make any of that stuff. I want them to say, just like how Rafa slows things down and that's his tactic, I want them to recognize that Nick creates chaos as his tactic and then deal with that accordingly. But since they don't really deal with anyone else's tactics, they will never deal with it, right? They just don't.
Right. I don't think they do it because, speaking of, I mean, unfortunately, it is him. I think a couple years ago when Stan got to the final to the French Open again and he lost to Rafa, I think it was, or close to. He played Stefanos, and Stefanos was doing all manner of hijinks on court, tying his shoelace and tying it, the ball this, ball that. I mean, like, it's him, and you see, and I think they
Who's
don't
him?
engage.
Who's him? Stefanos?
Stefanos was doing
But
all kind of,
but I get
and
it.
then Stan was
Stefanos
just like,
Stefanos is
but-
just quiet though.
but I don't know.
So
I don't know, but I think
Yeah.
always pointing out to something that is a
Sure,
fair point,
fair.
right? That
That one.
asking for fair enforcement isn't beyond the pale to me. He was
That's
was
true.
being a dick about it, but he's not the first dick to step out on a tennis court.
That's true. I mean, we
You know,
can
and this-
separate
and
it. You're
and
right.
this
We
happens
separate
so
it.
much in tennis, right?
Okay, we
and
have
this
to
is-
separate it. There are a couple
and I
things that
think
are
this
going
is-
on with Nick. You're right. Nick does ask for the umpire to be fair and do exactly the same thing because but the thing about it, can I just admit that on the side though, that's a little snitchy. Isn't it a little snitchy of Nick to always go out there and be like, well, guess who was doing this last week and you didn't call him on it?
But no,
It's
no,
a
no,
little-
no, he does
no,
that because
no.
he's
a
always
little
getting called
snitchy.
out on
But
shit.
it's-
And I'm
it's a-
not.
I-
But not
I
only
get
is
it,
Nick
but it's
getting
a little
called out,
snitchy.
I don't like
Andre,
all that
hold on,
snitchy.
hold on,
It's
hold
a
on.
little snitchy.
I'm
Okay.
gonna call it him trying to hold people accountable
No,
for the
I
fucking.
but you know what
it-
happens to
it
Nick?
reads a little
You
snitchy.
no, but you see,
Mhm.
okay, maybe in the streets, but on
Yes.
the tennis court, here's what happened. They find Nick 3-4 times more than anybody else.
Ding
They
ding
say he
ding.
needs
Winner, winner,
psychological
chicken dinner.
evaluation.
True.
They have
True, true.
suspended him off the tour and said he needs either he goes see a shrink or he can't come back to work. They
Yes,
do, and
true,
Stefanos
true.
has been out here. Stefanos, I think it was Stefanos literally hurt his father on court. He hit his
Yeah.
father with a tennis racket some time ago,
Yes, we remember.
a couple years ago,
We remember.
and
But
no one says
also-
anything.
But
We
also
pretend
Nick
that
is-
it's nothing. That boy
Nick
did the same
insults
thing.
Nick insults his parents all the time and his team. So that's what they do. So this one hits his dad with a tennis racket, and Nick screams obscenities at his parents. That's what they do.
Well, I mean,
we have
that-
to just say they're all.
but I'm not
let's
talking.
just
That
come
is
to it.
home training.
No, but
that is
let's just
home
come to
training.
it. They're both bad. I hate to say
Yes,
it. They're
they're
both bad
horrible
boys.
people.
They're
They're
horrible
horrible
on the tennis
people.
court.
Horrible people.
You're right, but
Horrible on a tennis.
Wow.
I don't know if they're horrible,
horrible on a
people.
tennis court.
Horrible on a
Right?
tennis
That,
court.
for example,
They're
if I
horrible on a
if I
tennis
were
court.
playing Nick, there is no way I would then let Nick ass do that kind of shit.
What are
I
you
was
gonna
going
do?
to check him.
Punch him. You
I'm
know,
not going to punch him. I'm going to check him before we even get outside.
You know what you need to do? You need to call him up at the net like Rafa does. Come up here.
Oh my god.
Have you seen that shit? I know.
No,
Wait,
we're not
wait,
moving
wait.
on to that
And
yet. We
again-
are not
No,
moving
wait,
on
wait.
to that yet.
No, we're gonna stay here. But let me just say, I think there are a couple of things going, and you all tell me. I think first and foremost, Nick's whole shtick is a shtick, and it's a ruse, and it's a way to like take control of the match. He's a crazy maker.
Absolutely.
He creates chaos.
Absolutely.
That's his
Absolutely.
strategy. But if so, the question for me is, if that is in fact the case, what's the responsibility of the umpire in that moment? Are they supposed to do anything when it's clearly what's going on there? Like, how do you manage that when you know that's exactly what your opponent
Well,
is doing?
again, it is the umpire's responsibility, but the problem again, as we've pointed out, and there is no consistency with this
Yeah.
because no one would say shit to Andy Murray when Andy Murray is doing this.
No, but I'm
And
talking
then
about
Nick-
I'm talking about chaos making. I'm talking about they're separate things. Nick does chaotic things on the court, which is about putting his opponents off. Then he chastises his camp, which is his own drama that he does for himself. And
Right.
that's separate. And then the third thing is he then goes up to the umpire and tries to egg the umpire on. These are 3 tracks of things that Nick does in every single match.
Well, again, and the only person on the court who has the ability to manage all of this is the umpire.
Yeah, well, that's not gonna happen.
And
How
to
do you
me,
how
I
do you
think-
manage that? How
Well,
do you
first of
manage
all,
those things?
You know, some of the times I think, and I also we skirt the lines. I think sometimes tennis is just like, so they want to say fuck, they can say fuck. They're grown.
Yeah, why are we doing
They're
that?
mad at
yeah,
their
why are we
job.
asking their language? Why are we policing their language?
That
thought
I
was
think is
weird.
really crazy and silly, right?
It's
Especially
weird.
when they have to
Because it's a
motivate
gentleman's
themselves.
sport.
They
This
scream
shit
out
ain't been
loud. I
gentlemen
mean,
for a while.
because I'm like, people are in the crowd saying, "Oh fuck, that drop shot was fucking shit." I know I'm in the crowd saying that. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems to be a kind
You're
of a
gonna get
silly nonsense
fined.
that. But I think one of the things is that tennis, it's just because of how tennis is that tennis doesn't want to manage these things properly, because we can't have this conversation at the WNBA or at the NBA or in hockey or in baseball. We can't have this conversation because that's kind of silly, right? Because
It's
they know how
silly
to
here,
manage these
too.
things. It is silly here, but it is a thing in tennis Because legitimately, this is what everyone was saying,
But
right?
it's not. It's only a thing in tennis for some people, and that's the point, and that's why it's a
Right.
problem.
But that's what I'm saying. But I mean, there is supposedly rules and regulation about this thing, and I think tennis needs to come into the 21st century
Well,
and
we've been here
address some of these
before.
nonsensical
Well,
little
I think the three
etiquette
lanes.
rules.
I think there are 3 lanes that we have to deal with. I think what Nick is doing is clearly a sportsmanship push and a competitive push. But guess what? You do it in basketball, so I guess it's fine.
Right.
I think the umpire, the sort of pushing on the umpire and trying to get the umpire to default his opponent seems weird to me. But I guess that's one way to do it. I don't have a problem with him screaming at his box. That's just something I've always seen players do. So I really put that aside. But I think the weird thing where he gets to engage his opponent in his chaos, I feel like that goes a little bit far to me. That
But
feels
to
like a
me, that
dance
only
that gets weird
Why
and
does it go too
chaotic.
far? Because
Because
no one else does it,
but it
or
works
what?
for someone like Stefanos.
No, not so much because it's. I think part of it is that you then engage the umpire in your tactic. You
Who
know what I mean?
cares?
Like because
If it
it's
fucking
a
works, it
but
works.
listen, you know what? That's fine, and that's fine. I think it's as long as you're okay with that. But I mean, for me, it feels dirty, and that's okay because guess what? That's something that Brad Gilbert writes that right. Win however you want to, and I can understand that. But I feel like with Nick, I think that you have to understand that that's a strategy for him, and you have to manage that match differently than the umpires do. I think the
Yes, but I think
umpires try to
Stefanos isn't
create
able
this
to do
other
that.
well, no, Stephanos don't because he
Oh,
doesn't hang out with dudes, right? Stephanos doesn't hang out with young people. Remember,
he ain't no-
Stephanos doesn't
he's
have
out. He's
friends.
with philosophers. He's on Twitter
Amen. O
stealing.
says working the refs happens in
And
every other sport.
that's
It
all I'm
happens
saying.
here too. It happens in tennis. Nick just happens to be more vocal about it.
And
You know,
that's
it happens
fine.
all
And
the
that's
time.
fine.
How often do you see Rafa go up to the chair
And
and
that's
quietly
fine.
say something just like he did to his opponent? No, I feel like there's a huge double standard here,
I think
even
it
though
is a
we're
double
trying to.
standard.
I
think
feel
a
like
double
it's coming
standard.
from you, even though we're
But I
trying to
think
not.
listen, but I don't like it when Rafa does it either. But what I'm saying is I want them to separate them out. Like I want you to separate out all these different pieces, but they never do. They wrap them all up into like Nick's personality,
Yes.
which is not what it is. It's about him using a tactic that all the other guys use.
But
It's
what
just
if
that
it's both? What if it is who he
but
is
I
and
don't
a
care if
tactic?
I don't care if it is who he is. I'm
Well,
saying
you sound like
separates
you
out.
care.
Listen. I don't
No,
give a shit
I
about
think
Nick.
what no,
What
hold on,
I'm
hold on,
trying
hold on,
to
hold on.
say is,
I
what I'm
think what
trying to
Andre
say
is trying to do
it's
is it's just like
tactic.
how do we stop this sort of chaos from spilling out in
And
the
I'm
match?
saying,
Because
why do we
But
a
I
lot
not
of
don't.
Nick
stop
But
it?
matches.
I don't need it to stop. But what I'm saying is, I want you to talk about it. See, listen. What I'm saying is, when I listen to the commentators watching a Nick match, they want to assume that it's about Nick trying to do this thing that is about himself.
It's a
But
pathological thing.
yeah, it's pathological. But it's just like with Rafa and his bottles, right? Like everyone has a thing that they do, but for some reason they characterize Nick's as out of this world. But for me, when I don't get annoyed with it because I clearly see it as a tactic. It's a tactic to me.
But why
It's a
don't you
tactic.
take it a step deeper and let's talk about why they talk about Nick the
I
way
mean,
that they do?
because Nick is an
It's
asshole,
because he's
baby.
no,
He's
it's not.
unpleasant.
It's
'cause
not
he's
because he's an
asshole.
asshole. It's because he's fucking brown.
No, he's not. I don't give a shit about the brown shit. I think
That's
Nick is
You
an
may
we don't
you
give
may
a
asshole.
not
fuck,
give a
but
shit
that is
about the
exactly
brown thing.
no, that is
You know what it
exactly why
is?
they talk
Do
about
you
him
know what it is?
differently.
Because you
That is
know
why
what?
he's held to
Because
a
you know
different
what?
standard.
Listen,
What he's doing is
listen.
not new. Look at fucking John McEnroe. Look at Jimmy Connors. This shit has been
Listen,
going on for
listen,
decades.
and you know
but
what's
they
so
were
funny
white.
about it? I think that John McEnroe was an asshole then too. My thing about Nick is, listen, I'm not going to give Nick a pass because Nick is brown and Nick is using poor sportsmanship to win matches. That's fine. That's your tactic.
You're not
Own it.
letting no,
Own
I'm
it.
saying I
Own
don't
it.
disagree with that,
Own
Andreen. I
it.
don't disagree with it at all. I'm saying you're saying let's talk about it, right? I'm saying they talk about it differently because he's brown.
No,
Other
they
players
talk about it differently because the tactic in tennis is not that tactic. All of the people in tennis
I don't think
does
he's
a tactic.
the only one using that tactic.
No. He's the only one using that tactic. Everyone uses a tactic. Nole has his, Rafa has his, Federer is whatever. I don't care about your thing. I'm just going to pay attention to me. Like they all have a tactic. Nick's tactic is used in other sports. It's just not used in tennis as much.
But
that's what he
everything
does.
Nick does, every single thing,
I
every
don't think we're
comment,
denying.
every
Yeah,
move, everything is under a much bigger microscope than everybody else. And we're kidding ourselves if you
I'm
don't
not
think
kidding.
that
I'm
part
not
of that
kidding
reason
I
is
don't think
myself.
because
she's
he
denying that. But
doesn't
you know
fit
what?
in there.
I
What I
think the
would say is
problem is
that
that Nick feeds off of it. Nick has involved us in his own self-destructive pattern because he gets to call it because he's brown. Let me tell you something. Quiet as it's kept, Nick doesn't own being brown, so I'm not owning it
It's
for
not
him.
it's not
I'm
about
not
him.
owning
No,
it.
no, no.
I'm
You're
not
not
gonna own it for
listening. You're
him.
not
I'm not
listening.
owning it.
wait, wait,
You
wait,
are
wait.
not listening. I am not talking about Nick at all. I am talking about the perception of him from the tennis
Right. I
royalty. I don't care about Nick. I'm saying the way
how
that we
fans see
discuss
him.
him is different in the commentary box because of what he looks like. It is. We don't tell anybody else that they've got fucking mental health problems because they cuss somebody out on court. We don't do that.
I
We
think that
don't.
Nick, to people in the chat, I think Nick crosses a line. I think he plays with his quote unquote brownness to effect so that he can get that rule, but he plays with it. He basically skirts poor sportsmanship all the time. And that's fine. That's your slag. But what I think is I need the umpire to recognize that that's what he's doing. Do not infantilize him. Do not make him some sort of like psychological basket case. It's a thing he's doing. Treat it accordingly. But since tennis doesn't actually do anything with anyone else's sportsmanship, they're not going to do anything with Nick's. I'm just saying I don't want it to be defined that way. I think that Nick is not some bad villain character. I don't think any of those things are happening. But that's how they define it. Instead of just saying, guess what? Guess what Nick's doing? He's starting that sportsmanship thing. He's starting that thing where he's trying to distract his opponent. They really think he can't help himself. He's doing it deliberately. Give him agency. That's what I'm saying. He's doing it because that helps him and helps his game. And that's why he does it. He does it.
Well,
He
I don't
wouldn't do it
have
if it doesn't.
I
I
don't
saw
have
him
a
play
single
Felix that way. But Felix was good. You know what? He tried to rile Felix up and he succeeded in riling Felix up because Felix has a different approach and he was able to win. But the great thing for me about Nick, and that's what's lovely for me, is that he can't hang. That's what's my secret
Yep.
pleasure when I see him. I was like, you do
That
you,
he won't
boo.
last.
But
He won't be there.
you
He won't
do
be there
you,
for the
boo,
7th
because
round.
you gonna trip over your damn self 2 sets down, 2 more matches. And that's the thing for me about Nick, which is great strategy, cool, cute, but you don't last
But you
because you
don't
can't
win.
hang.
Winning covers a multitude of
Yeah,
sins.
and you can't hang, okay? You
But
can't hang. You won't get to a final. Bet on it. If he gets to a Wimbledon final, I will love it for him. But you know what? He won't. Because this is not his tactic ultimately costs him, ultimately in the end, which to me, that's a failure of a tactic. If a tactic only gets you 1 win, what does that do for me? That's not a winning tactic for me. You just get 1 or 2 headlines. That's all you do.
well
I would say to
again,
Andrine's point.
again,
And I think to your point too, Janina. I think we're both saying the same thing, right? I think what Andrine is trying to get at is just like we need to actually address this situation as it is, right? It's not like it's not some character flaw. It is a character trait. He's literally doing
It's
this
a
on
thing
purpose.
he's
It's the
doing.
things
It's
he's
a thing he's
doing to
doing. He's
get
not,
to
yeah, to get to the end. To get to the
to
end.
the end. But I would
Yeah.
say that I think why this is I think what he's doing, and to your point with the brownness, etc., is that he recognizes that he would always be cast as the villain. So let me play that heel position. And let me call you out on it because you won't be able to do anything because tennis is so inconsistent.
Yeah,
If
for
tennis
sure.
were like if the umpires were really managing the match, right? And if they were applying the rules fair and evenly, these shit would have been shut down ages ago.
Except he would use a different argument because the whole idea is not really to be truthful. It's just to play and agonize the
Right.
umpire. That's all it is.
But the umpire could
But
have
it's
shut
an
this shit
opening. But
down.
it's an opening for the
And
umpire,
it's
for
an open
sure.
because he knows
For
exactly
sure.
how this is gonna play out, right?
Yeah,
The
for sure.
umpire is gonna obfuscate, like, oh my god, and it doesn't even have to be Nick. Remember that situation last French Open with Coco when she
Yeah,
just like tell me what I'm doing wrong and you can't tell me. It's just
exactly.
like let's
Yeah.
have this discussion later because tennis is all about the appearance, right? And Nick is just like, let's people, no, let's bring this. Let me see what you do. Let us see what exactly you're talking about.
But if he wanted to be held accountable, like for real, he's been given so many passes on in real time. So the thing that Nick's saying that he's also a victim is kind of funny because he's actually experienced a lot of umpire largesse, right? Like he's gotten a lot of bias from people who are like, he's entertaining. He makes
Mohammed, when he played
he's
Luca Pouille, I
wonderful
think it
for the
was.
sport. All of that stuff. So the thing is, tennis giveth and taketh away from Nick at the same time. I don't have a problem with it, but I think that Nick uses this tactic because he can't use the other tactic, which is his own self-control. And that's fine, but that's what you're playing at. And I mean, to O's point, if this is bad sportsmanship, each sport has its own version of what sportsmanship is. It's defined by the environment in which you exist in. Nick is trying to bring other kinds of things into tennis. That's not what tennis is. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. Do what you need to do. But please don't pretend that this is not a shortcut for Nick because he can't pound on his own damn self. Like, that's my sense of it, is that Nick does this for effect. And I love it when his opponents shut his ass down and just beat him, which usually happens at a slam. By the time he gets to the business end of a slam, he'll encounter Rafa.
He doesn't last. But I'm happy for him. He's here on a Monday again. He hasn't been here in a while.
The good thing for me is I don't have any emotions about what Nick does. But I'm happy that he's able to show up and spoil someone's good fun, because I think that's a joy for him. But I've seen Nick
and I don't like Stefanos anyway, so I'm happy to see whoever take that trash out, take him out.
I don't have a problem with Stefanos. I think Stefanos is fine enough. I mean, I know you think Stefanos is a serial killer.
Yep, I do. I would not let. I mean, like, and what's so hilarious is just that so they ask him, what is your personality, and he got nothing. He had nothing.
He doesn't have a personality.
Because like everything that how many times people on the interwebs have been like, bro, you are stealing my words. I said this.
Okay, let me ask you though. I feel like I have to give, not that I have to give him a pass, but wasn't he homeschooled?
Girl, I don't care. Homeschool people are not allowed to be killers.
Listen, I know. I'm not.
Yes. They're not allowed to be killers.
First of all, that's your assumption. But I also listen. I think that Stefanos is mildly on a line, on a continuum of something.
I don't even know if he's educated, because he still doesn't have any original thought.
That's fine. Very few. Listen, a lot of people don't. But I'm just saying, I think one of the things I like to avoid doing with Stefanos is inviting mockery of Stefanos, but based on a kind of toxic male culture thing, which I think is sometimes at play with Stefanos. He's not like all the other boys, and we should understand that. So I don't really.
Well, Nick told us he's not liked in the locker room.
Well, Nick says that, but that's Nick says everything about the locker rooms. If you want somebody to spill your secrets, tell Nick. But yes, I hear that Nick says that. But you know why, But you know what? That's actually not a big thing for me, because men's opinions about each other isn't always that great.
Fair enough.
Anyone that a bunch of guys like doesn't really tell me much about what their quality is.
Right, that is true, because it's that bro culture. I agree, but
they're not that
thing,
discriminating. So, and Nick, who Nick hangs with. Nick hangs only with those MAGA boys, so that doesn't tell me much about Nick either. Too. So let's just be.
Tells me something about Nick, though.
I mean, I'm just saying when he says that nobody likes you, maybe nobody likes you because you're not a misogynist. I don't know. I mean, just saying.
I mean, and you think that, but look, you see,
I'm not saying that's about Stefanos, but I think there's this toxic dude bro culture that goes on with Nick. That's not my reason for liking him. He just,
I hear you, and that is a valid point. I agree. It is a valid point. Maybe, I don't want to use the term hard, soft, or whatever.
Yeah, but he did. Nick did say that he was soft.
Nick did that, but I didn't think the softness hasn't any apparent. I think he meant soft, he
meant dude's a pussy. That's what he meant.
He meant soft in a way that is toxic. We know that's what he meant. Listen,
I didn't take it as that.
What is soft?
I didn't take it as I didn't take it as
when another man says that you're soft. What do they mean?
No, I think how he presented it, he's just like, compared to the other people that he hang with, just like people would not have been.
No, he said the men in tennis are soft.
No, and to your point, Andreen, I think Nick is acknowledging that it is a tactic, right?
Yeah.
That he says,
And I want them to treat it as a tactic, not
right,
as
that
some sort of
he
weird
admits it's a
failing
tactic.
of
So
his
he's just
ethnicity.
like, we dish this out all the time on a basketball court. Maybe Nick, this is
Yep,
why your body isn't right, because you shouldn't be on a basketball court. If you're a tennis
exactly.
player, you should be on a tennis court. But I think
Stop.
that
I mean, let's call it.
What
Listen,
is this?
let's
what is
call it
what?
true. I'm going to tell you the truth. The truth is
Nick should
Nick
not be
doesn't
playing
Nick
basketball if he's a tennis
Nick
player. He
doesn't
can hurt
Nick
himself
doesn't do
seriously.
Nick doesn't do the hard work, and so when he gets on a court, a part of his tactic is to slag off his opponent
True.
to get his
I
opponent
agree.
distracted. And if it works, and that's fine. But when it comes to the business end, he can't hang because his body ain't fit, and that's okay. But we all see through you, Nick, and that's okay. But I'm just saying,
But
don't pretend it's some big noble thing that you're doing. We all get
But
it.
in terms of the idea of softness and hardness and whatever, I didn't necessarily take it in terms of a toxic thing. But as you're saying it now, I can
It's a
see how
little
that
toxic.
perception is going. Particularly how it is that kid, right? And
And
he tried to
particular
present
who he
himself,
hangs out with, particularly who
but
Nick calls pet.
right. But also to in all fairness, Stefanos tries to present these air of being this sort of intellectual being, and leans
But he
into
doesn't.
because
No.
he's Greek, therefore he's a philosopher. I mean, Stefanos.
Man, the Nick
I
hate
mean-
is strong.
I mean,
There is no,
Stefanos.
you know what's so funny?
Stefanos says there is a direct line from Socrates
well enough.
to Stefanos.
Listen, there is no Nick hatred. I'm going to call it. There's no Nick hatred, but there's Nick seeing. We can see who Nick is, and we can recognize
We've
that
seen
Nick
Nick
is
long
playing
enough,
what he's
Janina.
doing.
Come on.
We
now.
know that Nick is playing. Okay,
We know Nick is
like he's
I
not
mean,
like,
listen,
and
I
the
don't
crazy
ever-
thing,
I
and you know
don't
what's the
ever-
crazy thing about this? I think Nick is the softer one of the
exactly of the two. That's
But
the
you know what?
irony
No,
of it all.
you know
The
why people
softest
have
of
such
the
a problem
soft
with him?
is Nick.
No, he says the shit that people are thinking that they won't say out loud.
So does
And that's
Trump.
always an issue
So
with
does
the
Trump.
person who that's what people often take issue with that purpose.
No,
with that
Nick
person.
isn't out.
When
Nick isn't
people
out.
say things
Nick,
that when people say things that other people won't say, then
the
all
real
of a
thing,
sudden
Nick.
everybody wants to come. Listen, I don't
Say the
ever
real thing,
fucking
Nick.
ever have a problem with an athlete going into a press conference talking shit about their opponent.
you
Fucking
see,
do it.
hold
I
on.
don't
I tell you
care
what.
about
I tell
that.
you what. And I think
My
to
thing
Andre's
is
point, you're
man
making.
up and step up and win things.
I don't care if he wins. I don't
Listen,
But you
fucking
see,
care.
here's the thing. Here's the
Win
thing. I
things,
think
because you're the
hold
punk.
on.
Win things.
Why is
Hold
he
on,
a
hold on. I
punk
just
if he
want to say,
calls
and I want us
somebody
to move
soft?
on. Let me get my whistle. Let me get my whistle.
Please
I mean,
whistle it up. I just think that Nick is a punk.
Okay, I just want to say this, and I think to a point, to both your points, ladies, as
Please.
always, you're excellent. I
Thank
think,
you.
Janina, I'm all here for the truth telling and whatever. And I think to Andre's point is that you made an excellent point. So does Trump go here telling people what they're feeling, but you see what he says everyone is thinking. But the problem is that, you see, if we're not looking to build something and be better, then it's just
Then you're
chaos
just
and
destructive.
problematic.
And
No,
that's
but
all he is.
listen,
No,
How many times
Nick
have you said
Nick, no,
that something ain't right with Stefanos? And he goes in there and says it, and now all of a sudden it's a problem.
But Nick
What?
is not saying it because, listen, Nick is saying it because he's toxic as hell. Listen, what is wrong with Stefanos? He seems a little bit slow. He's not with the boys. He doesn't hang out with kids. He got drunk the first time at Laver Cup. He's that kind of kid. We know what that is. That's okay. But I think when Nick does it, it's very toxic dude culture language. That's what's going on out there. Listen, Nick is trying to bring a certain kind of culture into the tennis. I'm all for it. Do it. But you know what? You can't even maintain because it ain't costing you to win stuff.
Yeah,
Do it.
We
Like,
don't
if
see
it's a
you.
good-
We don't
it don't-
see you.
Yeah, you're not at the end of tournaments, honey. You're not winning things with this thing. If it was a winning strategy, everyone would love it. But it's not even winning with you. And when you care about the outcome of a match, you can't even control that thing because your strategy is chaotic because at the end of the day, your body's broken. I mean, that's the real key here.
If in fact that he wants to change things and he's calling out the double standard, then
Do
you
it.
have to advocate for something better and what should be there. You
Well, he
just can't simply
advocate
be like
because that would
punish
mean
other
actually
people.
paying attention.
Exactly.
Listen.
And I think that is my problem with him. It's just like, it's one thing to complain, and speak your mind, because I'm all for that, right? Me personally in my life. But I'm always advocating, like, yeah, we don't have to be this way. We can be better, right? We can change. I am
But he's
complaining about a system And
He's a
this
shit
needs to be
starter.
changed, and constantly advocating for that change. Nick is only out here using this shit, throwing this out when he's playing a match to weaponize this shit. If when
Nothing else.
he's not there, if when he's not playing a match and he lost, and he said, look, these are the things that tennis needs to do, and we can be better. We can improve it. I know he's out here thinking that, tennis is a boring sport, and he says this quite loud. Then go be in the exciting sport.
But he can't
But
be
if
the
you're gonna
exciting
show up
sport because
here,
his body would break.
right? If you're gonna show up in the tennis, right, and you want to be tennis, and you want tennis to be all these other things that is happening in other sports, then you have to contribute to building it. You have to put in the work.
And
And I
also,
don't
let's
know if
be
he's
real.
necessarily doing all of that.
Arthur
But
Ashe
hey,
said it. Arthur Ashe said it. Arthur said, I can't be John McEnroe because I don't have the luxury of that kind of craziness. It's the same thing with Nick. I don't care. Nick has the luxury of that craziness. He's certainly allowed to do it. So he's clearly fine. TFO and Felix ain't out there doing that shit. They can't. So I don't care whether we talk about, it's because he's brown. That's great. We say that, but none of us are doing that out there because we know we
Kieran,
actually
I don't think Nick is bringing any urban edge. I think what Nick is bringing is a certain edge. Maybe it might be more like,
he's
Twitter,
he's bringing I play
TikTok
video
edge.
game. He's bringing I play.
You know
video
what I mean?
game
That TikTok edge. But I mean, like, the other boys been doing that all the time. But anyway, let's not get stuck down in the Nick rabbit.
No, I
talk
don't. But
about,
I also
the
don't
other
want to
diva
do
on
this
tour.
thing. I don't want to do that thing. I just want to say I respect Janina's point about this, but I don't want to do that thing where we embrace the whole like this is about brown people thing and then go to the other side of it to defend this behavior when that person doesn't even own those claims or titles or those distinctions. I don't really buy into that at all because the real Black people on tour don't do that. And can't do that.
Well,
So
I want to
don't know
make it
what
clear
that
that
is.
I'm not saying that.
No,
That's
no.
not
I
what
know
I
she's
said.
no. I know she's not. You're not saying that, but I'm just simply saying. I think that
That's
she's
the
not
excuse that people are
That's the
giving
excuse
them.
that we thought of. It comes
That
out
people
as a
give
defense
him
of
like
Nick.
and that's not a defense for me, but I do understand your point that Nick probably is doing something that is being perceived in the worst way when there are more egregious things that are happening on tour. I mean,
Exactly,
obviously,
and that's
I believe that, obviously.
and that's
but
why I started off
that's
by
fair.
saying Nick is
That's
not
fair.
Black.
Oh my
Nick is
God,
not
stop
Black.
saying
So,
that.
But I don't
no,
think
because
it matters.
I think if people see, because I think it matters how he's being perceived.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if he's perceived as Black or not. It's just that he's not white. That's
Well,
all
what
it
is
takes
he?
in tennis. He's not white.
I guess
He's
so.
not white. Period.
Well, that's true. There is definitely that. But I will say that the instruction that Nick is not Black is because of what Nick does. No Black person would do that.
Yeah.
We just don't do that.
So moving on to the other diva, but the diva who wins things.
Who's the diva that wins?
Divadal.
Divadal is winning this. Okay, everybody put their cards on the table. Is Rafa going around with a career slam entering the US Open? Is he going to get to the US Open on 3?
He's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to do it.
Reels is saying he's doing it. You say
he's doing it.
Who trips him up, Janina?
Novak.
In the final? Because I think
somewhere
that's the place they could meet.
Novak has a lot of work
if it doesn't happen here. Rafa might win Wimbledon, which I highly doubt it, but he's not going to get the Grand Slam.
Girl,
because
who's beating Rafa for Wimbledon? Who's that?
I don't even know what the draw looks like, to be honest, so I can't even make a prediction
he and
on
Nole
that.
are on different sides of the draw.
Yeah,
well,
it's
then
the
Novak
final.
does.
It's
if
the
Novak
final.
gets to
It's
the
the final.
final, he's not going to lose 2 finals in a row or 2 big matches in a row to Rafa. It ain't happening, especially not on fucking grass.
Sweetie.
Nope. Listen, he's going to find his own super juice, all right?
So you don't see so it looks to me that they're on a crash course for the final. Now let me ask you, we just had a whole discussion about this. Does Nick play spoiler to Rafa? That's the only way that we're on a it's basically if Rafa gets through his next match, he gets to either play Kubler or Fritz. Which Fritz is Fritz the last person to beat Rafa? Fritz
of the last
can
people. Beat Rafa. Yes. We know that.
One of the last people to beat Rafa.
Sweetie, best of 3. Again, I want people to understand this. And I think Andre and I are always on this train. The best of 5 sets dynamic is not the same as the best of 3.
But Rafa's been having wobbles in every match, so somebody needs to take advantage, and Fritz can do that.
Well, you know,
I love how you see. This is why every time Rafa shows up for the Academy Award, y'all are not giving that man his title. I don't understand this.
Okay, speaking of, what happened with Rafa and the grunt? Explain to me what happened.
Again, it's one of those situations where it can't be Rafa. It cannot be Rafa having this conversation. And that's the thing that really pisses me off.
Explain it.
That you
Why can't
decide
it be
that you're
Rafa?
going
What
to
did
tell
he
somebody
do?
that his grunting is disruptive.
That
Bitch,
was
you
so
over
weird.
there.
Can you imagine?
It's
Can you imagine
you.
somebody pausing in the middle of an Azarenka match? Azarenka, come over here.
And it's Maria Sharapova. And it's Maria Sharapova calling Azarenka to the net and being like, girl, you're being a little too loud. Are you kidding me? This is, I mean, and again, an umpire did not stop this shit from happening.
I know. That was hardcore.
And I mean, if I'm Senegal, I'm telling you, on site, I'm fucking up that motherfucker's foot. I'm putting my foot in your mouth, literally and figuratively.
Well, you know what's so funny? The kid, I mean,
and this happened when he just got broken.
Well, Sonego was interesting because Sonego was like, well, I kind of didn't know what was going on. It was really confusing.
Yeah, because I too would have gone up. I wouldn't have been on the base and be like, what do you want? That would not have been my response.
Literally acted like the umpire in the match.
I thought that if I was Senegal, the only likely answer that I thought he was gonna call me for was that I'm gonna retire from this match, which was not likely because he wasn't in a winning position, right? Senegal was the one struggling for his life, so he calls me up there. I'm gonna go up there, be like, why?
Yeah, but it was so interesting because the umpire allowed it. Like, why?
I think perhaps for the umpire, he wasn't entirely sure because what's happened. Actually, no, I'm sorry. The umpire should have been like, what's going on, Rafa?
Huh? Why are you talking to him? Why
exactly.
Are you talking to your opponent?
What do you want?
So weird.
Are you retiring from the match? Are you going for a bathroom break or whatever? Senegal had just broken Rafa.
That was weird. That was a weird moment.
And talk about a tactic.
Well, it felt a little. But Rafa said he wasn't being tactical. It was just
oh my God. You see,
I'm just saying what everyone is saying. By the way, according to my scoreboard, they are tied at 6 apiece in this tiebreaker.
Yeah, Alcaraz just could have served for. I mean, it was poised to take the set on his serve and Sinner hit like an unreal fucking winner.
Oh, Sinner, but Sinner is 10th seat and Alcaraz is only 5. Well, no.
Yes, you are correct.
Ooh, damn, I am. Oof, lordy. Come on, I needed to go 4 sets at least. Give me a chance to see Alca.
Match point, Sinner.
No!
Stop it, I'm behind.
Actually, all our equipment's behind. And he's serving for it? Straight sets? Yep. Okay, you all tell me tell me you all really didn't think
I'm not surprised. I mean, like
sets,
I don't expect Alcaraz to come in here and take over the tour.
But no, I think to be competitive.
It's fine. His body probably break down. I don't trust his body as yet. I don't trust his body.
Well, this doesn't seem like a body move. This seems like a tactical
because
move.
He finds the win from the hardest position, right? He don't do light and easy. Okay, I think that's one thing that, unlike most Spaniards, he don't do light and easy. He's always a heavyweight. He's going to the American route.
Well, I'm just a little bit disappointed because I really wanted to see him on.
Yes, I wanted that for you
court.
too.
But that's okay. It looks like match point gone. Maybe we'll still have some more.
Yes, 7-all. I'm telling you, this is exactly where Alcaraz wanted him.
Yeah, Karen. Alcaraz is the real deal for me too. I think so. And that's saying a lot.
And meanwhile, Murray and Venus have won the first set in mixed doubles.
Oh, good for us all.
But I'd much rather be watching that. Where's that?
That's on court 2, I think.
Yes.
So we have Rafa. Rafa is going to be meeting the guy from the Netherlands next. The guy who's been having a nice run since the U.S. Open last year. Van der Sloop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
His run is over. I hope he enjoyed it because that shit is done.
Well, he's a decent grass court player.
Yeah, so is Rafa.
I know. Stop telling me things I know, Janina.
Listen, Rafa's gonna get to the final, I think, probably. He's gonna meet Novak, and depending on who flies out and gets in the egg is the winner.
Okay, winner, chicken dinner. I mean, for all of the upheaval, to end up with a Rafa Nole final would be kind of a
boring. But that's exactly what we're gonna get. But I stand by what I said. Rafa will not get a Grand Slam,
Calendar Sam.
which is a Grand Slam.
Oh, okay. Wait, okay, but let me ask you guys. I assume that they're going to change the rules not because of him, but eventually the U.S. is going to change the rules about you getting in the country
Stop it.
without vaccination, right? Because Nole is coming to the U.S. Open.
No,
No,
as of
well,
right now,
what
he
he'll
said he
do-
hasn't, and he hasn't been vaccinated.
No, I
What
know,
he'll-
but we'll change our rule, right? Are we holding
Don't think
fast to
so.
the
Oh.
non-vaccination
All
rule?
right, we get another set. Maybe. Oh no, sorry. It's not going to be changed for Novak.
No, not for him, but I assume that our rule will eventually change and
Of
allow him to come
I
in.
don't know.
I don't know
I
if it
think
changes
I
by
think the Biden. I
August.
think if the Biden administration attempts to do that, there will be like, it's just like you are just like
The
fuck it.
Supreme Court will support it.
I mean,
That's true. I don't think they really care.
But who's gonna push? Who's doing that? The airline industry?
I don't
But
know.
that you can't be vaccinated, they certainly
Because
got
the
rid of
airline
masks.
industry is now being broken because everybody is sick. Right?
I love
no
it.
one's
I love that.
no
for
one's
them.
managing the trucks. No one's managing the pickup luggage, whatever. I mean, like if you want to get to any place, you have to treat your flight like a bus. You just get in
Oh
what's
my
on
God.
with what's in your
Right.
pocket.
Yes. Is that the half volley by Alcaraz?
Yeah, I am so behind. Yeah,
You
that
have
was
to get in.
beautiful.
You have to get on a plane like if you're getting on a bus. Just what's in
Yes.
your pocket, and that's it. Don't
That's
check
pretty much it.
nothing.
Don't take anything with you.
Does the U.S. have a rule about if you just had COVID, you can come in even if you're not vaccinated? If
He
it's
can't try
within
that
so much-
again. That's gonna be
I
third
mean,
time.
he'll try it again. That's what I'm
He
saying.
can't try that.
Sure, he can.
And I don't think that's a thing. You have to be
Oh.
vaccinated.
Okay.
Well, I'm just
Because
gonna see what he
and the other
tries.
thing is that he can't even file for medical exemption because he's already showed his hand. Not
Yeah,
only
but
did
you know
he
what?
say
He doesn't need to do. The thing is, he just needs to come in for the summer, right? Because the thing for him is he didn't want to go to Australian Open early, but the U.S. Open has the U.S. has an entire swing. So that's my assumption is that he
but
just
he
needs
can't
to get
get into the country, period.
Can
That's
he get
just
there
it.
from Canada?
No, he just can't get it. I
He
think Canada may
cannot
have
be
Okay.
on the border
Yeah.
trying to sneak in, Andrine. Cut the shit. Cut it
because
out.
right. So what he's gonna do? Be somebody. He's gonna be in Canada. He can't
Oh my
isolate for 2
God.
weeks.
Look at Alcaraz.
No one's doing that.
Y'all, are we? Let's wrap it up.
Alcaraz won the third set, like I suspected.
Exactly. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. Keep fighting for Andrine to come and see your ass.
And you're gonna be fizzled out for that match though. But Andrew don't care.
Listen.
She just gets to see. Then she's gonna be like, "Can
I
you
need
believe?"
to know what he looks
And
like in
I
person.
was excited to see
Exactly.
Alcaraz,
I
but
need
then
to
there
know
was
if he
nothing
looks.
there.
I need to know
Listen.
if he looks as big as he does on TV in a
Listen,
year.
let me see what the draw is if oh shit. They're playing for the chance to meet Djokovic? Oh shit. Well.
All right,
Well.
never mind. Who cares?
No, I'm kidding. That's because Djokovic is gonna lose later, y'all. God,
Lose to who today? Who's he play
to,
today?
to Van Ruthven from the
Andrine, I
A
Netherlands.
US
cannot
player
with you
can play.
today.
I know, right?
A US player can play the US Open unvaccinated. I mean, I know the US Open don't care, but you know,
The US
speaking about
doesn't
that,
care.
what Alize Cornet, speaking of another person who just loves chaos,
Yes, I love her for it.
she just like, you know, COVID was up and down through the
She spilled
French
all
Open.
the fucking tea.
Can we talk about this for 2 seconds? First
Yeah,
of
only
all,
two.
that part we definitely want to talk about spilling tea of sick people, but can we talk about the Iga thing? So who saw that match and why was it so easy? And I understand that Iga is not comfortable on grass, but I didn't think
I watched it.
How was it?
It was fine. I honestly think that first of all, Cornet is a grass slayer.
Yes,
It's what
she's
she
pretty
does.
good on it.
She can really up her game when
Yep.
she's going to take down a big opponent.
Yes, she does.
Iga-
Love it
For a big
her.
opponent.
Iga is tired, you guys. She's got to be tired. She had moments, and I thought, well, here she comes.
And she
She's
just
going to
didn't have
fucking
it.
do it. And then she just didn't, she just didn't. I think she's just fucking tired.
Well, all I want to
And
do
she-
is I
she
want
didn't
It
look-
wasn't a
didn't
bad
look-
match. It
Okay.
wasn't
She didn't
a
look
bad
strong
match at
from
all.
the opening. At the opening for Wimbledon, she wasn't. I just figured that she was just over the whole thing. She just wanted to go home and lay down.
She don't
She
want to
wanted to
go
lie
home
down.
and lay down.
It's-
But
it
you
sounds-
only got so much to give, man.
Well, it sounded like Iga had her usual. You remember how Iga looks unbeatable and then she's beatable?
Yes.
I didn't think that grass. I mean, listen. If Rafa can make it happen on grass, Iga can make it happen on grass. He's her hero.
Iga's been winning way more than Rafa.
Well, yes, but I was
'Cause she
surprised a
plays
little
more.
bit. But you know what? I noticed that the scoreline for the last match that it was not so simple for her. So she was probably getting a little
Wimbledon
bit
has not
tight.
been simple for her, period.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just was curious about whether she's probably going to come back to her strong form in the summer, the American
Yeah, for
summer.
sure.
Damn it.
I mean, girl, I want to see you next year for the clay coats. Just goodbye. Somebody else needs to win something.
Oh my god.
Go have a long lie down. Go lie down someplace
Oh
else.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean?
It's good.
And
I
all I'm
appreciate
simply
grass.
saying, Iga, why wasn't this tiredness in Paris?
No, because
Huh?
because her game suits that damn thing.
Yeah.
I'm just simply saying you could have get Coco a set, something.
No, Ego is
Coco
feeling
could have gave
herself.
herself a damn set. Coco, I'm not going to drag Coco.
I didn't
Coco's
see
young.
Coco's
She
match.
just
Is it the forehand? Was it the forehand?
it was the everything hand.
She
And
served
it was
so well.
it was
last
the
time.
mental hand.
Mm.
Coco lost her focus and just that was it.
I like how y'all don't ever, not you all, I should say, sometimes I hear people talk about Coco just like she's a human being and, you know, like it takes time to develop a game.
Yeah, she'll
But
be
I
fine.
know, you know, and there were times when Venus and Serena, you know, Serena won the US Open in 1999 and she didn't win another major until 2002. Just so you all know that there's
Well-
time for things to develop. You know,
I think I need her to work on her forehand though.
yes,
You do.
She does. She definitely needs. There are a lot of things she needs to work on, and
She's
stop
young
need-
and she has
She
plenty
also
of
needs to
times.
stop working with Jack Sock. Just stop.
Why?
Just-
She's good. She's a great that they should be a good doubles pair. I hope
But you
that
know
they
what? She
take it all
wants
the
to
way the
win,
final.
and I hear
Yeah.
that, Coco. Jack could bring you a title.
At
He
the
can bring you a
Wimbledon.
title.
Do it.
He can do that. I mean, he's many things, but you know what I mean.
He's a good doubles
whisperer.
player, period. Love him,
He is.
hate him. We mostly hate him, but he's
Not
damn good
mostly.
at
We
doubles.
only hate him.
He's very good. So let's move to the controversial final topic, which is Alizé Cornet basically confessing all the locker room tea. But how do we give a nod to Berrettini for
And Chilich?
testing himself and removing himself? Because apparently Wimbledon doesn't have any protocols around that.
Wait, what? They're
I
not
think
testing people?
No.
they're not.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Honey, that's why Alizé was saying people were just like not being tested, knowing they were quietly sick and hiding it out.
I thought she was saying
hold
that
on,
at
hold
the
on.
French.
No, but they're
No,
not
no.
there's no obligation at Wimbledon for them to tell you whether they're positive or negative.
I know, but I thought the tea that she was spilling was about Roland Garros.
Yeah, she was. But the
Yes,
thing that's
but
interesting
it
is
came
that
up. It came up
but
as
it
a
came up
result.
here.
It came up
Yes.
here.
There are no
Um,
testing protocols in the UK per Pablo and also per everyone
What
else
the
at
fuck are
Wimbledon.
y'all doing over there?
Hold on,
Honey,
before
they're
we
living in the
before we go
future.
into there, let's just acknowledge that there are new people in the chat, and there are also
Yep.
some
That's good.
there's some comments. Candy's being messy as always. Candy's
Appreciate
saying,
the
you know,
mess.
there's no testing all the germs, which means y'all are getting all the germs. And knowing Candy, she's basically saying y'all are just basically raw dogging it on the toilet. Like, what's
Well,
wrong?
yes,
with you?
that's
y'all are
true.
nasty.
But so I
Someone
think it was,
said, Kieran
frankly,
says,
I think I think Berrettini gets a sportsmanship award because let's be honest, I'll just say it especially for the sport. He was on a tear. He had won both of the grass court titles coming in. This suits his game very well, aside from that sloppy backhand. We get you. But he was poised to make a nice deep run and he willfully withdrew himself, even though he was mildly symptomatic, not too symptomatic.
I think they're only saying mildly. I think they were really symptomatic.
Well, obviously,
I
that's
think
why
they
he
couldn't-
probably
and
took the test.
this is what Chilich's second or third time for sure. He's had COVID before.
Wait, Pablo, stop it. You're saying if people have COVID, they can still play? But what about the ball kids? They have to go home to their parents?
I mean,
What's
it's very
going on
they
here?
don't care. I mean, it's
What?
very clear that. I mean, look. I mean, I'm telling you, job is basically telling you the same thing.
I could tell that Chilich was going to try to play. Chilich was going to try to play. I could tell that too. But he couldn't hide it. Wow.
I know your body.
Wow.
I'm telling you, your jobs are like saying you got COVID. Come on in. Once
Well,
you're
I
not coughing
mean,
and spluttering on anyone.
I mean, at least at your job, they try to pretend.
No, they
by
don't.
telling
Not at
you to stay
mine.
home
They
for
don't
5
try to
days.
pretend. I am telling you, they're not trying to pretend.
So you are under. So basically, what we're hearing now is you are under no obligation to tell people if you have COVID while you're playing the sport
Let
at
me let
Wimbledon.
me let me give you an
Wow,
example, right? I work for a government
that's
agency.
amazing.
Let's just put
I mean, I knew
right.
it was a shit show for Janina, but
And
yeah.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? They stated that since the mayor has refused to put a mask mandate out there, right? He's done away with it. They can't in the office put a mask mandate, right?
Mhm.
That's one. And so they like to have, we're back in the office. The mayor said that we're home in our pajamas doing work. May I have, I'm in workout clothes because I go to the gym before I work. Okay. So I'm not in my pajamas. Okay. Just so you know. But anyway, so they had like, we're back in the office. Let's have these office gatherings and whatever the case may be. Tell me why they have a bullshit pizza party and they decided to put gloves on the table.
What?
For what? So someone says, and it had to have been a white person to say this because it couldn't have been my black ass. They were like, "Oh no, we are pretending that we have COVID safety protocols in place."
Oh no! Stop it!
I was just like, "Mhm." But I mean, they don't care. COVID has been going
Wow.
around somewhat. People don't wear. They don't care. They just once you are
Listen,
not
Karen,
dying.
I understand that we have to live with it, but just like how we treat the common cold, if we're going to pretend that COVID is like the common cold, at least when you know that you
At least
might be,
flu.
yeah,
But you
yeah,
can't
or
come to
like,
work with the flu.
yeah,
You
at
cannot
least
come
when,
to work with the
yeah,
flu.
like the way for us to live with it is not to play through it, which we would never expect someone to do with the flu. We simply say, don't hang around here for 5 days because your viral load is the highest at this point in time. It was also
Nope.
higher,
Nope.
but like this is how we're doing COVID worse than we did other things. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the part of
Yes,
it
you
that's so
cannot come to
weird.
work with a fever. You shouldn't. Look, this girl had COVID, and she told me she didn't have COVID. She told other people she had COVID, and she's in the office just like I have a fever, and I was like, bitch,
My
the
fucking
fuck.
coworker came to work who took a COVID test at home and it was positive that morning. And she
And
said, "Well,
came
the
into
line was faint."
oh wow. Wow. Okay, I mean, listen, I get
Maybe
it. I get it.
ask her
We
if she could
we're
be halfway pregnant. Ask her if that
Okay,
if that can
listen.
happen.
I get that we've all
They
made
don't care.
COVID
They don't care.
controversial and weird, but we still have to treat it like an illness, like generally. So, I
But
mean, I feel like
or
that's not
perhaps
controversial, but
oh, and I think they think that people are not treating COVID. Again, we're getting into the moment where we're disrespecting COVID, right? Is
yep.
that we're treating this virus as if it doesn't evolve. And if it doesn't produce more deadly and more contagious strains so far.
Well, let me tell you,
Like, and
Pablo,
we
I
forget
am
that this
I am
virus has killed
amazed.
5 million people.
Yeah, I mean, we get it. Like, dead people. This is how the world was formed, dead people. So it's not a shock. But I mean, I
Oh,
think
shit.
Tony, don't worry. You don't need a vaccine to get into the US Open
yeah,
because they won't check in the first
I know.
place.
The thing
So
is,
they were doing a look. So you'll be all right.
Reels is always telling us Reels is always telling us about death as if we care about death. Honey, we built the entire globe on death.
Oh,
So death is
yeah.
just what we do.
Mm-mm.
That is true, but I want us to understand that when people
That's really
say,
incredible.
I think when people pretend like it's not that serious, I just like think about the fact like in less than 2 years, 5 million people who would ordinarily have been here just died. They weren't hit by a bus. They didn't have cancer. They weren't murdered. They had
Yeah.
COVID and died
Yeah, I know.
in
It's
2 years.
horrible. I think, I mean, I get it. Like, it's amazing to me that disinformation has succeeded in making a disease kind of controversial and what the preventative measures around it should be.
I'm
So,
curious to
so it's
know.
interesting. Wow.
And
I'm
even if it's
curious
not
to know
lethal,
if this, but I'm really, so Cornet said, we just kind of told each other and
Yep.
that we're going to play through. So I really wonder if this is the unwritten rule against amongst all the players or just like a
For
select
some.
few,
For
because this
some.
is for me, for my personal well-being and health. I want someone to tell me if they think they're sick with COVID
Yeah.
or anything.
Yeah.
Before COVID, I don't want my coworker coming to work sick and potentially getting me sick. I don't want that. I've never wanted that. So I'm wondering, do we have a handful of people going, yeah, I might be sick, but I'm not going to say anything, or, oh, we should tell each other and then decide amongst ourselves whether or not this person is comfortable playing with me.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I really want to know. Because if everybody is doing it in their upfront, but you'd have to be upfront with everybody, like not just
I
the
don't think
players.
so. I think it's
And
just
they
a
can't
closed
be right.
secret.
That
No,
yeah,
it's just
that
a
would
closed
be
secret for a few
that would be
people.
a lot to ask for.
Or you're
in-
telling
Well,
your
perhaps
friends.
I think players might like what happened in the office, like when COVID was going around in Christmas.
I could see that. I
People,
could see that. I can
people,
understand that.
someone
She says
told
that
me
we're
he
not
had COVID.
testing. Yeah.
People are
But you know
telling, and
what?
I think they would
People are
ask each
choosing
other,
not to
don't
test.
they?
People are choosing not to test, which makes sense to
Right.
me. People, so
But they're
because
also,
Pablo
but
says
if
that
they do
she's like
test, they would
saying,
ask.
no, you know what? Listen, I think for athletes, they believe that their bodies are at their peak. So they can withstand all of these things, which I get why an athlete would do that. But athletes go home to their sickly people, they go home to children, they go home to other people, right? So it's interesting. I mean, I guess that's a tactic. But it's
Yeah, but what
clear,
about the
okay.
ball kids and everybody
Yeah, I
else?
mean,
You
but I
know?
Yeah,
mean that
people without jobs, people who just
I
barely
mean,
volunteering.
but have you ever known athletes to think about anything beyond their own inner circle or themselves? It's pretty hard. They don't have a lot of practice doing that. Well, I mean, I guess listen, at the end of the day, that's a culture that the government has set in motion, right? The government doesn't have any rules, and so you get to do what you want. I mean, that's fair enough. And I know it has gotten less lethal for sure because most people are not most, a good chunk of people are vaccinated, so that does help. But for people who are traveling the world, it feels like they would have special rules. It's such a loose way to navigate a global sport.
Which is what I had said back in the day, but who
Sure,
listens to reels, right? That these are
nobody
tennis
does.
players. And what did I
Very
say?
does.
What did I say? They are irresponsible motherfuckers. At the very least, expect tennis players and athletes to be
Mhm.
irresponsible.
So let me
That they
tell you
don't
something.
care.
Do you see why Nole make no sense to me? So this is why Nole makes no sense. Why is Nole all up in his feelings around this thing when people are running around getting COVID and do whatever the heck they want? Why is Nole taking a stance? This seems ridiculous then.
Well,
I
because he
think the
can't
money
play
angle.
sometimes.
Yeah,
That's
that's
The
why.
money
weird.
angle.
That's weird. Um, Nonetheless, I mean, listen, life is a risk, Karen. I totally get it. But there's some risk, which is I don't walk around and I don't drive without a seatbelt and I learn how to drive. I learn the rules of the road. Those are the kinds of things. So with COVID, there are rules of the road that we can navigate to make it better for ourselves.
Yep.
So that's why I'm not saying that I think that it's okay for us to live our lives knowing that there's risk involved, but we need
But you
not
have to be
invite the risk.
respectful.
We need not
Yeah.
invite risk in. Like there
Yeah.
are things we could do. Like we can make sure ventilation is happening. We can make sure that if you're in a meeting with another staff person that you're wearing a mask between each other. There are things that we could do. We could make all these kind of agreements about it as like a social contract. But the willy-nilly, like I'm just gonna do what I want to do, just feels like not the right approach. You don't have to do you
It's
don't have to go
selfish.
crazy.
And
But
while
it's
you're
a little
living your
bit
best
interesting.
life, and meanwhile, as you're living your best life, as you think, you're affecting my well being,
Right.
and you don't care or seem to think about that. It's just about you. Oh, and the thing that bothers me, it's just a quote unquote a minor inconvenience. And I think it's so because if you look at the conservative shitholes that are in this country, right? Masks make children unhappy. We can't see their smile. But
Oh,
those
that's
same
dumb.
children must run around now
With
and have
guns and
and
no
have
food. But
babies
anyway, like we don't have to go there.
and don't feed
So
them. So
yeah,
I think y'all are being a bit disingenuous with this idea, life has risk and whatever. Life, and here's
calculated
the
risk.
thing: we don't need to add more shit to that risky
It's
life.
already risky. But so any other final tennis moments that we need to discuss before we head on
I just
into the
want to
week?
talk about how happy Venus looked on court. It was fun to watch. Love seeing her there. And she walked out for the 100
Yes.
years on court like a fucking supermodel. Wind, hair blowing everywhere, clothes
Could have
blowing.
been better,
And
but
she
I ain't gonna be
she
a
just
hater today.
slowly like moved her hair and was like, bitches, here I come. And I fucking
Aww.
loved it. And Andy Murray can't walk. I don't know how he's out there playing tennis, but his walk is all kinds of off with those bionic hips. How is he
Honey,
playing tennis?
Andy Murray has been walking like that since I saw him in 2017.
I
Yep.
feel like it's worse.
Yep. I mean, it probably has gotten worse, but Andy Murray hasn't had a functional body for a while. I mean, it's kind of interesting that he's still having kids, but Venus
Stop
looks
it.
great. Venus looks fantastic. Venus
Men
is doing
always
this
make
thing-
sure the penis works.
Well, that's always a kicker, men.
And in
keep
fact,
that
the penis
going.
doesn't have to work in order to have a baby.
I mean, the woman will do all the labor up there.
Boom.
She just says, "Lay there, honey. I'll take care of business." But
Lord, oh my God. Oh, thank you. Oh says Coco was wearing a basketball net. What did I tell you, Reels? I said this looks like an unfinished kit with a basketball net.
I thought you didn't like the play on nets.
No.
You don't like the play on nets.
It looked
Oh.
unfinished and sloppy.
It was that. Isn't that kind of the new range? Balance has been. I like that kit. Yes, I did like it. Pablo's blowing up my spot. Yes, Pablo, I like the kit. I did. I thought it was clever.
Venus was up. They were up a break in the second set, and now they're down 7-6 in the set. Venus.
Why is Venus? It was falling apart. The net frayed. New Balance, do better by Coco. So we still have Coco around for doubles, right? So
She's currently playing. She's playing against Mahout and Zhang, and they won the first set.
Ooh, good. Keep
And
going.
they're. I mean, one sock is on. I mean, I don't care who is across the net. One sock is there. Sock and I could play doubles and win a few
He's
matches.
fucking good.
He's very good.
Maya.
I mean,
He's very good.
Maya had sent me something about Cressy losing the sock, and
That's
I
great.
was live
Ooh,
scoring it,
God.
and I was like, why is Cressy losing the sock? And then I thought about it. I'm like, well, Cressy's serving volleys, which is
Yep.
going to bring your opponent to the net, and
Mhm.
sock is fucking good at the net, period. That's it. That's it.
Exactly.
He's fucking
And also,
good.
and it's also Cressy. So
I tried to tell her that, but she didn't want to hear that.
no, I know Janina's got stock on Cressy's
like
stock.
Janina has been a mama bear in this episode. She's
I'm
so
being a
protective
mama
of these
bear.
children.
That's
I
right.
know. And Andrine is being exactly what she is, the bad auntie.
All right, say goodnight.
All right. Y'all, we're gonna look forward to closing things down next week. Hopefully we get a surprise winner. I don't see that happening, but maybe we will get some fun matches. I will be excited to share my personal experience of Wimbledon. I'm going on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. If you are at Wimbledon and you're not stalker and unfriendly, text me or send me a Twitter DM and let's meet up.
And you
for
can
a
also
drink.
give Andrine good chocolate.
Oh my gosh!
to bring to
Basically, Reels is asking me to bring chocolate. for him.
Reels is always asking for English.
So you
chocolate.
can't physically meet him. You can meet him in spirit.
Tony, we love you too. This has been really fun. I mean, you know what?
Tony, you need to get on an airplane and come to New York. I want
It's
you all to tweet Tony and
come
tell
to New
Tony
York.
that he needs to see Serena one last time.
Guys, guess what though? Let us all also consider City Open. City Open has got the field, okay?
But they don't have the
Open?
food. They don't
Well,
have
yes.
the food.
There
Cut
are
it out.
women.
Auntie Deb will cook for us.
No, look
No,
at the
she
women.
won't.
The
She'll
women
make you
draw.
breakfast. That's it. Auntie Deb is enjoying her retirement. Listen to me. She is enjoying her retirement. Don't you dare do Auntie Deb that. She's not out here making
He
y'all.
said, no, she won't.
No, she's
Well,
not out here trying to cook you out some good old spread. No.
I was
make you
just
breakfast
talking about the
instead.
three of us.
No, I'm excited. I know.
She's
Leave
not
that
even
alone.
doing that.
I'm super excited. Pablo, show up at Wimbledon. Let's go have a drink. Hi, Karen. We enjoyed you as well. You know what? This has been great, and I'm looking forward to
And
some
see-
live tennis. I mean, I haven't done it since Indian Wells. It's so much fun when it. You listen, nothing beats it, right? Nothing beats seeing how they hit that ball up close. So we're gonna have a good time at Wimbledon. Hopefully, it's
Enjoy.
fun. I'll tell you all the tea when I can. I'm gonna try to see if I can see why Federer showed up in sneakers, but it was good sneakers.
Because he looked good.
I
That's
know. Yes.
Good.
Oh, Karen
I'm
wants
sure
us
Deb
to
is
go
trying to recover right now. Deb is just like, this old man didn't tell a young old lady that he was going to be there.
Okay,
And I just
can
want to say, I see
know.
some new fans. I don't know if you've been here
Miami.
before.
That's
Yeah,
next
Miami.
year.
No.
Timothy, Mihal.
Yeah, let
Um,
me spill the tea that the next time I come back here, we will be enjoying a little Laver Cup action, y'all. So we
Lucky Lang.
will.
Oh, you're going back to London. You're going twice.
I'm going back to London because Laver Cup is the thing. I thought Laver Cup was my last chance to see Federer on a tennis court. So, but look at him. He tells me he's planning to come back next year. So look at us. Look at us all. Let's make a plan
And
to
so
meet
that so,
in
so that means there's
Vancouver.
2 opportunities to give chocolate to Andre. Look at that.
Oh,
Look at how God is working.
goodbye.
Look at that. I mean, the tennis gods are smiling on me. Okay.
It's been real, y'all. Continue to enjoy the rest of the tennis. Hopefully, we still have no Laves match to go. Alcaraz is going to be out there all day.
All day.
And Patrick, you can tell. No, I think there's a curfew, right? They have to shut down by 11 o'clock.
I mean, it's not. Can I just ask you all this? Nole's not going to play tonight. Let me just ask you, why do they continue to start play so late, knowing that they keep running up against the light?
And
They've
putting
got
these
about
people on court. I could have told them that was going to be a 5-set match. Like,
and they definitely should have done it. They have, like 11 o'clock. Okay, well, they got some time.
11.
That's okay. They've got
And no man's playing with public transport since I'll be trying to strike every Monday morning, London. Come on now.
There's no strike going on right now. You can get home, but it's like 4. I know this. I remember the local ordinance, but
There's a local, yeah.
So basically, Nole is going to be playing in an indoor tournament today. He's gonna have to be. Good chance for him though. Janina, that cough sounds problematic. Go take a test.
I'm much better than I was.
Yes, I can assure you. I can assure you.
I was knocking on death's door. Janina does not have COVID. Janina had 3 negative COVID tests, Pablo.
Yes.
Don't put that shit out there on me.
So I'm just saying, either COVID is bypassing it or she had some new crazy flu. Because she sounded like trash. She would
I had every fucking symptom of COVID in flu.
Reels is the only one that is avoiding COVID thus far.
Yes,
because this motherfucker wears 5 masks
and does not leave his house
and doesn't go anywhere. And I'm like, it's hot. I'm taking my
It
chances.
Do you know how I leave my house? In fact, there is an option to do field work. And I was like, no, I will not do field work. I will go into the office. I don't want people to be with it. So.
It's okay. I avoided it for many years.
And plus, have you seen straight men in the gym?
Yes, nasty.
Exactly. And I have
don't
survived
wash any
COVID.
Parts. Yes, good for you. You keep on eluding COVID. I want you to be the one we give you a prize to.
Yeah. I haven't had it yet either.
Wait, you haven't had it, Janina?
No.
It's been in her house though.
It's been in my house. I shut that motherfucker up in the bedroom.
Do you know what's so funny? With all the way that those people at your job takes risks, I really thought you had it.
No, I've not.
She wears a mask.
I'm one of the few people in my office who have not gotten COVID.
Wow.
And she's one of the few person who actually thinks COVID is real. She works with a bunch of Ohioans, conservatives.
Goodbye.
All right. Well, I mean, my name is solely tennis travel, so I guess I should have gotten COVID from my travel. So that makes sense.
You did get it. You get it before.
But you're still here and you're alive and you're well. And look at that. You're going to London. You're in London right now. You're not even going. You're there already. You're living your best life.
Knock on wood, y'all. I mean, let me just say I'm definitely playing with COVID up in here because these people do not recognize it as an existent thing. So I think I still got immunity things for 90 days?
Yeah.
Do not let peer
I'm still
pressure
in the 90-day
win. Mask. Put on your mask.
I still feel weird.
Especially since you always say something. You're a vocal fan when you watch tennis.
Yes, Karan, it was the same for me. It was actually relatively mild.
So, hello, Miss
Serena. Serena will be in Cincinnati. Is that the rumor? We starting rumors.
Candy, you know I'm texting you after, right, to find out that Cam Norrie story.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
You know what, Candy? We're gonna bring you on next week, Sunday, for that Cam Norrie story.
We'll also
because I know the finals won't be excited, so we might as well get some kind of real titillation up in here next Sunday. Okay, so Candy, be here, be square, and you're gonna be on the show and tell us your Cam Norrie story.
That's right.
Okay, I'm just gonna say that I refuse to watch Cam Norrie in a final because I did that in Mexico City. That was not pleasant. So we're going to need to make sure not Mexico City, Acapulco. Remember, Gina?
Yes, you did.
I mean, I was there, but I didn't watch it.
Janina took a nap. So Janina had a chance to see Cam Nori versus Rafa Nadal, and she said it's time to take a nap. So, y'all, this is how we're gonna play it. So we're not seeing Cam Nori in a final, although the Brits would love it, but we're not doing that.
Yeah,
we're not doing
it's
that.
not
We're
for
not
me.
doing anything to please the Brits.
All right, guys, until next week.
The
Next
English,
week.
remember? Because Cam
The
Nori is
English.
Scottish.
All right, y'all. Have a
Good night,
Bye.
good night, good night.